Two?
Oh yeah, maybe Dan
Link.
will want to come in.
Here.
I was like, last time we started it, we just
Yeah.
started it like halfway through a conversation, so that's what we're gonna do now and have
Mhm.
done because we're halfway through a conversation now.
Yeah, we always do that.
Probably gonna have to mute the stream when it starts. Did it before it started. Dan, you busy? I don't know if Dan wants to come in. Let us know, Dan.
Yeah, I sent them the link, so.
Oh, Amy already sent it to you, which I didn't want her to because I was hoping you were going to say no, but she already.
Yeah. Don't you forget that it's always the Jamie Show.
The Jamie Show. No, it's not. Jay's not here.
It's the Alfme Show today.
Yeah, fuck Jay.
Jay's out having fun with BWP
Out in
right
a
now.
day. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, fine. I know you were taking it kind of rough, but
yeah, it hurts my heart. But you know, it's good to know that I got all the 7% women on my side. You know.
Yeah.
I know. Leica and Chrissy and Amy, they're all mine.
What are you brown people going to use our language to talk about tonight? What a cunt.
Sean's sick.
I don't know. We're probably going to talk about a lot of stuff. We had an interesting early afternoon today in Jay's Discord server talking to...
yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
so
before we get into that, did you read the description on this live stream?
No, I will read it for you right now. Aimee and I hang out. Don't debate me, bro. Don't talk to me in my Indian bed again. Straight up. I'm so tired of that. It's funny how when you're trying to explain to them, like, listen, dude, we don't want to debate you. They start debating you again. And it's like,
they can't let it go.
Oh
and it's like,
God.
I'm going to say, like, all right, these guys started off, it came out aggressive. We were like shit posting them, they're shit posting us. But then eventually we went into voice and talked to them. You know, we had a bit of an argument, but then it led to us, you know, saying what our problem is and saying that, you know, we don't always want to debate. We're not interested in these topics. And yeah, some of them came off cool. And I was like, all right, these guys they're nice guys. But in the end, yeah, that's their main interest. And in the end, I'm sitting there and we just devolved into the conversation about animals and this and that. And I'm like bored as fuck at the end. I was just like, yeah, see, I told you, I'm just not interested in this kind of stuff. I'm bored.
Well, they get into the whole, like, that guy was like, I mean, it was nice. Sorry. At least they talked to us kind of. Yeah. And we just went through explaining, like, look, I know you guys really care about veganism, but we don't really care about veganism that much. And they think that asking you how your day is surface level. I don't think that's surface level. And you can't just go straight for the gut. Sometimes you get, you know, a good vibe with someone and you can kind of start talking about shit right off the bat because you just have a weird, like, vibe that it's comfortable. But, like, if it's just randos on the internet, it doesn't always work out like that, right? The more people you're talking to, the less there is a chance that you're just gonna be like, oh yeah, let me tell you my life story and what I believe in and all the positions I take and my political position, like, whatever. So for him to be like, oh, it was just surface level. Well, yeah, that's kind of where you start. You start at the small talk and then you move into the bigger topics, and that's how you kind of get going. Like you said, you were like, you know, I don't care about this shit. If I have a friend who cares about it, yeah, listen to them because they're my friend and I care about my friend. That's why I'll put up with it.
That's the main point. You're coming at people who this is your interest, not theirs. Imagine, like, I'm into comic books and I'm going to go to some guy's random stream and be like, why don't you talk about comic books? How about that? Spider-Man is better than Batman. Debate me, bro. You know, like, nobody's going to give a shit. They're not going to give a shit to debate me on Spider-Man versus Batman. Like, what the fuck? They're not interested in it. And it's the same thing, you know, then then they want to blame me for acting so nonchalant about it or dismissing it. Oh, you're going to dismiss my arguments because I don't give a shit, dude. I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a shit about it.
And they want to argue with us about things Devin has said. And it's like, first of all, Devin doesn't want to fucking talk to you. Okay, there's a reason for that. Second of all, I'm not here to advocate for Devin's positions or arguments either. So can you fuck right off with your bullshit? Like
that. You know why that happens? Because they do that. They Ask Yourself said it directly. He said you can come into his Discord and debate like his underlings, I guess, like whatever he wants to call them. But you could debate his fans or whatever before you debate him. So it's kind of like that's what they do. They debate. They like know him and his points so much that they can debate his points for him. It's like you got to defeat his minions before you get to the final boss or something. Like this isn't a video game, bro. Like,
I know, and it's just like. How you like communication is just over these guys' head, right? Like we just went through the whole thing of like, we don't want to talk about veganism. That's not why we're here.
Yeah.
It was so fucking weird to me how he's like, the only reason pretty much I'm on the internet at all is for my veganism.
Yeah, well, he was
And
saying
I was like,
about Twitter, because then when you went deeper into it, because it did
yeah.
sound weird already. You're like, that's the only reason you use the internet. Well, I was like, no, well, I use it for other things, but the Twitter I only go on for that. And then, you know, and then he's like, well, I go on Discord for some other things, but that's part of it too. And it's like, I understand you're really into that. You really want to advocate for that. You really want to make changes, but you can't just go at people who aren't interested in it. It's just not gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's just not gonna happen.
And they started beating our ear about it anyway. And I was like, you know what? I'm out.
It works with the analogy I use that it's like, yeah, I'm against child rape, but you don't hear me talk about child rape all the time. I don't go into Discord and go, what do you guys think about child rape? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not something I talk about all day.
But Alfie, I used to work at an animal sanctuary, so I see all these things, and you know, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, well, then I can also say, well, I volunteer at, you know, saving child trafficking victims, you know, and I see the things they go through every day. But does that mean I'm going to talk about it all day? And that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah,
talk to people like, have you seen the conditions these kids go under when they're being trafficked? You know, like what?
Dude, it's like so exhausting.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about.
But this is the next fucking like awful community of people we kind of are getting involved with. You know what I mean? So. Yeah.
And again, hashtag not all, right? Exactly. Like, do we really have to say not all? You don't have to
we do have to say not all. We do.
Understand the concept of generalized talking. Like,
no, but people don't understand clearly. It doesn't matter. You can say something directly. I feel like the more directly you say something, the less people understand it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you ask them about shit, they have to go through the mental gymnastics. And I think what happens every time they try and explain their position away is that they're not actually getting their position isn't actually what the cornerstone is. It's the mental gymnastics that helps them get to the position that they're at that strengthens itself. Because when you try and talk to these people about the real life aspects of animal slaughter and like eating meat and stuff, they just have a mental block. To them, it's just killing is wrong, killing is wrong, killing is wrong, killing is wrong. And it's like, well, what's the point in talking to you?
I also think it's because of the way they interact with people and the way people interact with them. They feel like that's always the case. Like, I was explaining to him how Devin a lot of it was him talking about just the perspective of a general meat eater, you know, not a person who debates or is into all this stuff. Their general thought is going to be this, you know, and that's what he was telling a lot of it to Banana Princess was like, you guys argue with this, but this is how a general meat eater would see that argument. You know what I'm saying? But they're taking that as his arguments. And that's what I was telling him. And he was like, oh, well, how are we supposed to know that? And it's like, well, you know, you're watching a casual stream. I mean, there's people talking.
Yeah, but they don't know what casual conversation is, do they?
I don't know. That one Tim guy was nice, and he was having casual conversation with us. It was just the point.
Yeah, he was
going towards
back to veganism
animal stuff. Yeah, which is something I'm not interested in. So it was just like, it's okay here and there. You know what I'm saying? Or a little trivia thing here. Oh, you know, like I was interested in some of the stuff he said. Like, oh, you know, like wine has, you know, they use like animal products, you know, and stuff in wine and stuff like that. And I was, you know, he was explaining what they use, and I was like, oh, that's interesting, you know. But then if it keeps going on, I'm going to be like, you know, we don't usually talk about the same topic for 30 minutes at a time, you know. Like even now, we're going to talk about this for like 20 minutes and then move on to the next thing.
Yeah,
you know?
But dude, it's just so boring. Like I released that video today where I'm ranting in the morning, and near the end, I'm like, I was talking about BWP in particular because I told her I'd like to sit down with you and do a vegan mukbang where we like get vegan food, and we can just chill and eat vegan food, right? And we should like have a girly chat or whatever. And she's like, yeah, but veganism will come up. And I'm like,
why? Why does
like you're so one-dimensional and fucking boring. Is there anything else about you besides veganism?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I'm into, and sometimes it comes up, sometimes it doesn't. We've had weeks-long time of me not mentioning something I'm into. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Or at least
can you imagine? Are you into comic books? There aren't any vegan comic book heroes, so no, not really. Like,
or even if she was, I am. But we're gonna talk about veganism because you know I've talked about comic books. I don't really care to continue talking about it. I'm more veganism. But it's I think she's a nice person. I'm not saying all this stuff to like bash her, but yeah, it is. There is something to say about only having one topic to talk about. Like, there's multiple things you can talk about. You can just be casual and discuss each other, you know.
So what about Harris Thatcher?
I sent her. In the comment section of the stream Jay had with her. I was gonna screen share and read this because, as I said, it's not an attack on her. It's just, you know, the way I viewed that live stream and the way she viewed it, I think, are totally different.
Yeah, she thought it was a debate.
Yeah, it came off like she thinks it's a debate, like
She's
here.
like, why wasn't there a mod? I'm like, what?
She said, vegan arguments aren't new, because this was me saying like, oh yeah, we were kind of dismissing the arguments because, you know, Devin's my age too, and I'm sure he's dating a vegan himself, so I'm sure he's encountered all these arguments multiple times over decades. Like, I was like, I've heard all these arguments since the 90s, you know, like when I was in high school. But she's like, so then she responds with, vegan arguments aren't new, but neither are atheist arguments. Do you think it looks better to reject an argument purely on the basis that it's not fresh again argument, or would you flesh it out for the audience so that they can make up their mind? And that's where I understood. She's like, oh, flesh it out for the audience. And I'm like, oh, I see what's happening here. This is for the audience, for you. This is another issue. This wasn't a debate for us. We don't really care about the audience, as we weren't trying to convince the audience, try to sway them to our side, or even really care about what they think about us or our views. We stream to hang out and discuss things among ourselves. We talk to each other all day, and some people like to watch our interactions with others. This stream specifically was not for the audience. It was, at least what I believe, people who are on friendly terms discussing views. We did this with Ellie as well, and she treated it as we did, as far as I'm aware. I may be confused, but I just don't understand the people in the chat or in this comment section taking it as if it was a debate, as it obviously wasn't. It shouldn't be viewed as one, which leads me back to another issue, which has been brought up multiple times recently. Conversations between vegans and non-vegans about veganism don't always have to be debates. We can just discuss our views on either side and our issues with them without someone winning or losing or getting wrecked or whatever. We can just talk and understand each other better. I'm not attacking you with this, just telling you how I viewed this. And I think you have a lot of people coming down on you as if you lost the debate. You didn't. You expressed yourself very well, and so did we. And we can still all be friends if you wish. We are reasonable people and like to make friends. But in that, we are going to discuss opposing views without debate.
Right.
Nobody really debates their friends. Who debates with their friends? Like, and like I mentioned before, I'm not even a debate person. Debating isn't something that interests me, or, you know, I find fun or anything, you know, like.
Do you remember that guy was talking about how just having a conversation was actually a debate? And we're like, no, dude, just because people get heated and impassioned and are questioning someone about their views, that does not make it a fucking debate. Everything is a debate to you.
I see his point, because if you look it up in the dictionary, it'll say an informal conversation where views are thrown back and forth. But it's not that kind of debate where they're thinking someone's going to win, someone's going to lose, someone's trying to change someone else's mind. Like, no.
Well, it wasn't intended to be a debate.
No, we're just discussing the views and breaking them down. And that's basically it. Yeah.
Hi, Daniel.
Hi, guys.
What's up, Dan? How are you?
I'm good. You guys just fucked up. You invited me on your stream.
Fuck, it's ruined.
It's ruined.
Yeah, it's ruined now. He's gonna get drunk like Superman and throw people across the bar.
So the great vegan wars of 2018 rage on.
Yeah. It's not much of a war. It's like starts us war, and then
dude, last night was a war, okay, with fucking Satanism.
Oh yeah. I DM'd Nir about it, and he said that you guys both agreed that it's better if you didn't stay in the.
I didn't agree. I wanted to go back. But he was like, look, I just don't think you should be in there. Unfortunately, your presence causes, it just makes everybody upset. And it just makes me laugh, right? Like, what am I supposed to do?
It's just being yourself makes them upset, I guess.
They're allergic to joy and positivity. Yeah. And that's clearly what has played out here.
Yeah, there's a lot of them in there that like live in misery. They, like I said, that's their topic. They always talk about animals getting murdered and stuff like that. Like, dude, that's a gloomy fucking topic. Like,
good rule of thumb, if the word stabbing comes up 23 times in a day, your day's probably not that great.
You're living in a very gloomy world. Like, and it's true, you are living in a gloomy world, but you can't constantly.
Why do you want it to be gloomier?
Yeah, but you can't always dwell on the gloominess, or you're never gonna have any joy in your life.
So you guys, I got a new haircut just now, and I want to recount to you the ins and outs of my haircut situation.
Okay.
Oh God, please don't. Please don't. Okay. Unless it's interesting. Then
I'm going to try to make it interesting. All right. Okay. So I kind of have like the white nationalist haircut, like kind of short and high on the sides, kind of long on the top. And I've been doing it long before the white nationalists and stuff. But every time I go in, one of two things happens. First of all, it's always like some ethnic minority or some homosexual cutting my hair, of course. And either they always think I'm basically a white nationalist because I'm telling them what the haircut is. They're like, yeah, I know what that means. So they either do one of two things. They either totally don't cut it the way I like it, or they cut it super like a white nationalist, like really hard lines on the side.
You ever go in there and be like, I want the Nazi youth haircut, and they're like, oh yeah,
exactly. I should just come in and say, well, listen, I think whites are superior, and we should build that wall. So go ahead and cut my hair appropriately. No, but it's just so crazy. Like I have to come home and like fix my hair after I paid someone else to do it, because they're basically like, you could just tell they were just like, yeah, I got you. I know what you want. Anyway, it's probably off topic. I still have the itchy hair in the back of my neck, so I really wanted to share that with you guys.
Thank you for the haircut story. Do they know who Richard Spencer is?
Yeah, here's the thing.
Oh, you know, obviously, but do they know? Could you just be like, can I get the Richard Spencer?
Yeah, exactly. Spencer.
I mean, I kind of want to broach the subject, but I'm like, listen, I know that this is like a white nationalist thing, but I'm not going for that. But I'm like, it's just, I guess the example is that it seems like this is how SJWs and far leftism has creeped into my everyday world.
No, okay.
Creeping into my haircuts.
But yeah. Now we're gonna talk about haircuts every day, all the time. We're haircut activists. We're gonna do activism for Nazi haircuts. They're not Nazi, man. They're not Nazi haircuts.
So what do you want? I want something that says "kill the Jews." Sean. Sean.
I want something that says "kill the Jews," but still demands a lot of authority.
So I'm sorry for derailing the vegan thing. Last night was interesting. Like I threw like 5 hours yesterday and the day before.
Wow.
At the vegan problem. Yeah, it's a real problem.
I like some of the people in there, but some of the people in there I just can't stand them. But a lot of them are children, which makes it rough. And it's like,
a lot of them.
I've told them many times, like, I don't know why you have such young kids in there. Like, you shouldn't have them in there.
I also conveyed that sentiment to them repetitively.
Yeah, they don't accept it.
You know what I said to him? He was okay. Listen to me. 2 days ago, that poor guy was so stressed out. Like, they pulled me into the mod chat. Him and that Zycron guy. Okay, the first thing that Zycron says to me is, "You know what, Aimee? Like, I'm sorry you got banned and stuff. You're still a fucking dumb bitch, though. But you shouldn't have been banned." And I'm like, nice, very nice. And then Near was like, "Yeah, I just don't know what to do." Like, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, either you're going to have a vegan Discord server, or you're going to have a not vegan Discord server, and recognize that there is going to be clashes of personality here, because a lot of these people's personality is just debate me, bro, I'm a vegan. Versus like other people who come in here and who just want to like have a good time and chill out and whatever, right? Like, I like the social aspect of going in there. I like the exposure to different people. It's good practice if you want to learn how to deal with certain things, right? So it was beneficial to me, which is why I wanted to be there. But after yesterday, I was like, you know what? I'm actually going to leave today.
They don't realize it's beneficial to them too, because they have more experience dealing with people who aren't vegans instead of just dealing with vegans only. Like,
yeah,
absolutely. I was trying to frame it like that to them, like, hey, we're actually trying to like do you guys a favor and help you sort out your community, what you're doing yourself. And I think we could have a good litmus test for what is positive behavior. My position was that we were adding positivity and joy to it, and they might have perceived that as contentious and negative, but I think that's on their part.
That's what I was telling them the first time Aimee went in there, and they were all freaking out. And I was telling them, you guys are all failing Amy's litmus test. Like, by freaking out like this, you guys just are horribly failing it. Like, you don't even realize that the way you're acting is making you look retarded. Like,
and what makes it more stark and apparent is that some of them don't fail that test. So you get to see the contrast.
Oh yeah.
Spectrum.
Totally get it. We were just talking to the vegans right now, and I was telling them, I brought up the whole $250 thing, right? That I was charging to debate me. And I was like, yeah, I don't like to debate. I don't like to talk about veganism. So if you wanted to do that with me, you'd have to pay me. It'd be like a job. Why am I going to go out of my way to do something I don't like with people I don't know? You know what I'm saying? It's bullshit. So then the guy brought up like, oh yeah, I know. And a lot of people I know fall for that. And they think you seriously want $250 to debate them. And I'm like, yeah. I was like,
that was so funny.
I'm like, yeah, it's a joke. But in the end, yeah, I kind of do. Because if you want me to do something I don't want to do, you'd have to pay me, you know, like, but the joke is I know nobody's going to do it. I just do it to be like, you know, be a dick about it, really.
Oh, don't be a dick. So I made a similar situation happen where I contended that meat and animal protein is the specific ingredient that allows the human brain to interpret humor. And it was obviously a joke. It was obviously a joke, but the guy totally started like he wanted to get into enzymes and proteins and fatty acids and saturated fat, and he like took it so fucking seriously. And I'm like, see, dude, you're like, first of all, I don't really have a point. It's kind of a joke, but you're kind of proving the little tiny smidgen of a point that's in my joke.
Yeah. But that is like a time and time again thing. Look how much it triggers these boys when you just say fish are brain dead.
Yeah. And I really have to say though, I like the stream you guys did with Devin and Warrior Princess, even though it got a little bit impatient. That really played out really well. I think it really encapsulated this entire thing.
I thought so too. She thought it was a bit aggressive. She did think it was a debate, and she thought there should have been a mod. And I'm like, no, I understand that you felt a little bit like it was a bit of a tough spot because there was one vegan and 5 carnists, as they like to call us. But like, it really was just a bunch of us asking you questions about your own views, which you shouldn't have a problem with to begin with. And yeah, there was a bit of challenge happening, but it wasn't a formal debate. We did not intend for it to be a debate. We weren't intending to dogpile you. And you know what was shitty is like her vegan friends were like, BWP is inept.
Yeah,
she's not the person you should be talking about.
And it's not her fault.
Yeah, she's not the one you should be talking to. She's inept. She can't handle the vegan arguments. And I'm like, how do you feel about your own people from your own community coming here and saying that you're inept? Does that make you feel good? She didn't really answer me, and I was like, oh, you know, fair enough. What are you going to say?
Yeah, it is always annoying when you ask a question you don't get an answer. That really leaves me very unnerved and discontent.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's been said a bunch of times that this really plays out my premise, and I think
your ideology premise.
Yeah, that this is ideologically driven. That if somebody wanted to have a conversation or a discussion, the ideology wouldn't get in the way, and you could have a conversation. But what's getting in the way, I think, to me, is ideology, and it's super ironic that then they start to tag that and project that onto you, where you have an ideology, you're biased, and you're being dishonest, and it's like. It really is. Communication is so crucial and so key, and the alternative to it is violence and negativity and destructive behavior, and we see that play out. You know.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other night, right? Like they expect you to be open-minded, they expect you to be malleable, and they expect you to hear them out. But it's like you guys already have your minds made up. You are the rigid ones, okay? You're not even willing to take reality into your account because your ideology matters more. How on earth can you expect anybody to fucking change when you are unwilling to A, be real, and B, be open-minded and all the things that you expect out of everybody else? Do you think you're being open-minded by behaving like this? No. That's a simple answer. Yeah. You're not.
And it's not speculation that they're not being open-minded. This is basically scientific evidence. You know what I mean? This is demonstrable, you know?
Yeah. It's like I was telling to them too when they're on the stream. I was like, "Who are you?" Because they were like demanding I respond to their arguments, and I'm like, "Who are you? I don't know you. Like, why are you demanding I respond to you?" Like,
yeah, this whole "not an argument" meme is just it's so.
Oh yeah, I started laughing because he said that to me after I was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna respond to you. I don't care." And he was like, "This is not an argument." I started laughing. I was like, "Hey, Burrito, look, he said it."
Yeah, I read that this morning, and that's what I had for breakfast was the war getting raided by only 2 or 3 vegans.
Yeah, it was like 2 or 3 of them. Yeah, maybe 4.
So I mean,
but then we started talking to him in the voice chat. You missed that whole part. You just saw what we were typing in there. But we started talking to him. We had a whole conversation. Like, you know, they were really nice after we started talking to them. But
yeah, and these things can be overcome. I also did that on sentientism and stuff. And like, I want to give an example. Like, so there we have this whole debate. We have this differing of opinions. There's some contention, some conflict here. So I was like, let's start at A1, chapter 1, verse 1. And my position was that the American Dietetic Association, World Health Organization, a lot of mainstream things are saying that healthy and ideal diet does include meat. It just doesn't include excessive amounts of meat and lean meat. And I was like, can we just start from there and let's move on from there? And that one point took hours and all sorts of, you know, fucking veiny foreheads and just held breaths and just contention.
But dude, they came at me for that. Do you remember I took like 3 minutes out of my day yesterday to explain that I'm willing to make incremental changes to my diet over time and introduce vegan foods into my diet and reduce my meat intake over time. But it always comes back to, yeah, but you're still contributing to the needless animal murdering. And it's like, okay, well then what the fuck do you want? Because that is a reasonable solution to your fucking militant problem. That you're making a bigger problem than it needs to be. So
but what about Devin posted about the abuse of dogs?
Again, fundamental difference in how we perceive the situation entirely, which is why we just talk past each other all the time, is because you guys don't think there's a difference between animals and humans, and that there isn't a difference between the fact that there are animals we eat and animals we have as companions, and that's your fucking problem. That's not my problem.
We've bred dogs for 13,000 years to be our companions.
Yes.
And that doesn't work one way. Like we actually like, you know, obviously there's outliers, but yeah, people have a connection to the dog species. Like it happens. We do. We bred them for that. We bred them for the purpose of being appealing to us, you know?
Yeah, it's amazing. Human superiority is just it's a fact. You know,
yeah.
Like, I don't know how you get away from that. That's the primary starting point.
Appeal to species, though.
Is that a humanity guilt? Is that humanity guilt? Like, you know, there's white guilt. It's like humanity guilt. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm better, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, dogs are greater than shrimps.
Yeah,
it's so true.
Remember,
I was putting that in all of Ask Yourselves videos about Devin. I was putting dogs greater than cows. They are, from our perspective, they are.
Oh, duh.
100%.
Oh, God.
Dogs greater than vegans. I don't know about all that, but in some senses, yeah. In some cases.
I mean, I know I like my dog more than I like a lot of these
exactly.
people.
Yeah, if you asked me to hang out with a dog or some random vegan on the street, I'd rather hang out with my dog. That's for sure.
Yeah. So I've noticed that they want to, the way I look at it, there's 3 pillars of their ideology, and it's health, environment, and ethics. And they want to jump right to the ethics without any regard for the health and the environment, as if those things are secondary to the ethical. I think that the health and the environmental precede the ethical, and that you can't have the ethical argument until you talk about the health, because that's primary.
Yeah.
If something's not, and here's the thing is, like, so anybody who endeavors to change their diet in any way and is conscious about it, you're going to see health benefits. So that doesn't matter if you're going to go paleo or vegan or what you're going to do. If you're putting attention onto your diet, you're probably going to see benefits from that. Chances are you're not like, I'm on the McDonald's diet, you know?
Yeah.
So I think the health thing is primary.
Wasn't it even when this guy did it, what's his name, Furlong, like when he first changed his diet to McDonald's diet, he was feeling all right. I think at the beginning he was like, oh yeah, I feel good and I'm feeling different, but I feel good. And then it started slowly going downhill from there.
Yeah, Supersize Me.
Yeah.
Morgan Spurlock, who I think he got Me Too'd.
Did he? Oh,
yeah.
Somebody touched his nuts. They jiggled his balls. Or did he jiggle someone's vagina or something?
Yeah. I think he was on the sharp end of that stick.
Oh, okay.
I think.
it's not like Terry Crews. It was like,
oh my God,
my balls.
Oh my God, Terry Crews, you would sexually assault him, Amy? Is that what I'm hearing?
No. Really scare me. Didn't I tell you that?
Yeah. I recall now. You guys were on another stream reading articles, and you guys read this whole Terry Crews thing out.
Yeah.
You educated me.
What's happening with the chat right now? I gotta refresh this shit. I can't even use it.
Terry Crews is a goofy guy. He's funny though.
Yeah, he's really funny, I
I
must
like,
say. That's for sure.
I like him as a celebrity.
As a celebrity.
Yeah, he's one of those inspirational figures too. He does a lot of self-help type stuff, like a Joe Rogan type or a Jordan Peterson, if you will.
Does he really? I haven't seen any of that.
Yeah, I mean, it might just be in interviews, but I would imagine he fucking could get $100,000 to speak at some event or something.
I want you guys to look at this. I'm gonna screen share it now on Twitter. Did it go? What the fuck? Why did it switch? It switched to Windows for some reason.
All right. My god.
Everyone, yeah. So this guy is making fun of Kanye West, the guy that bakes cookies on TV but pretends to be a gangster.
Yo, do they even know?
There's got to be a kid who wrote that, like somebody doesn't.
Murder is a case that they gave me. Really? Come on, guys, give me a fucking break.
Was that a Photoshop picture or was that a real picture?
I think that's legit.
That's probably.
Wow.
From the time that like he showed up on Martha Stewart's show or something. They've hung out. I've seen him on her show.
Yeah, they've hung out and they've smoked the reefer.
Yeah, I've seen them on shows together. I think they were on Conan O'Brien together one time or something like that.
Really?
Like shows. And they were like, she was cooking and he was making jokes. You know?
So that picture has now replaced the picture of Ice Cube in a kayak smiling with a.
Oh, I love that too. I love that picture.
Man, if you told me in 1995 that Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube were going to be so mainstream, I would have been like, wow, what are you going to tell me next? Ice Cube is going to be on Law and Order? Come on, get out of here.
Yeah, that's true. And Donald Trump's going to be president? Come on.
Oh, no.
Dude, if you told anybody that 10 years ago, they would have laughed so hard.
You told me that last year, I would have laughed so hard. When he fucking was saying he was going to run for it.
We did laugh. As soon as we found out he was running, we were laughing.
This is a joke. Like, who's going to take this serious?
A
lot of people did.
How do you guys feel about Donald Trump probably getting the Nobel Peace Prize for the North-South Korea
situation? North Korea thing? Is he really?
I think so. I think he's not going to get it.
I mean, if he actually pulled it off, then I don't see why not. I mean, he is all together. I would say he doesn't deserve it, but for that act, I guess that's something that's worthwhile for that. Right?
Yeah, I was talking with Chris and Jay about it, and they kind of said the same thing. And they're like, "Hey, listen, if he had some part in it, then good for him." And Chris accurately pointed out that maybe all of his warmongering, erratic behavior sort of stuff actually scared some sense into them.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm like, when I first read that, CNN was even reporting like, "Oh, Trump, had a hand in this." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Well, good though, because I would like to see peace, that war end in peace."
Hell yeah.
Or at least some sort of mutual agreement on, living together, sharing that peninsula,
Can I steamroll both of you guys and talk about the really important war that happened yesterday?
I was trying to avoid it, but it cannot be avoided.
I had literally just forgotten about that, so thank you.
Really?
Bringing that back into my consciousness.
Hold on, you can get started. I'm going to grab a cup of coffee, okay?
Okay.
And I'll be right back.
So we were actually listening to her stream again. Like, I couldn't listen to all of it yesterday because I don't know about you, but it's just really exhausting mentally to listen to her go through all these like vicissitudes of mood where it's just like, I hate you, you fucking whore, you're this, you're that, and oh my god, but you're really pretty and you're really smart and I just want y'all to like me and I don't know why you don't accept me and blah blah blah, blah, blah. You're a fucking bitch, you're fucking this, you're fucking that. Like, it was so crazy last night.
Yeah, this 5-hour stream, I made it about 2.5 hours.
Yeah. Oh, did you listen to it at twice the speed?
Yeah, even at twice speed, I had to tap out at points. I'm like, this. Oh, other things emerged that were more important.
Yeah, but, for sure.
Oh wow! Like,
she left me a comment today. Did I tell you?
No.
So Alexandria made a video, right? The one that I recently posted. I posted it today of the like dancing dude, and like he's dancing towards one side, and it's her talking in her stream about how you want to talk to me about things, you maintain your composure and you be an adult and you handle your business with class. And then it zooms to a part where I'm like just talking normally with my Apple and she's like, you fucking bitch.
Yeah.
So funny. Anybody else, I just want to, like, for the record, she's like, she leaves me this comment today. She goes, You are being so condescending. You're trying to be the female version of Devin Tracy. Devin carries himself with class and would never have talked to me the way you did or act the way you did. Stop riding on the backs of coattails. It's not yours. Other people do that. If everything is yours, why not trademark LLC and something else it, bitch? And I responded to her and I'm like, why are you trying to be the hillbilly version of me? 1, 2, 3, bye. Dollar bills, y'all. Just wondering. Time and time again, it is hard not to appreciate your lack of self-awareness. Nice job failing to have a conversation / being an adult. You're a coward. Deuces. Like,
I love that she used the 1, 2, 3 thing. Like I was like, what? we were all on Discord and we're listening to it.
Oh my
we
god!
We're watching it live, and then she said it. We're all like, oh, like, did she just really do the 1, 2, 3 fucking bye thing? Like, no way.
No, but it was like 1, 2, 3. Okay, bye.
Yeah, she didn't do the full bye. She was just like 1, 2, 3, bye. Like, what?
Dude, that was an insane stream. Like we were listening to it we jumped in for like an hour or two. And then we stopped listening to it because we couldn't anymore. And then we jumped in again. And like she started going off. She went off on Kelly Noodle of all people, who's probably barely interacted with her. You know what I mean? Oh, shut the fuck up, Roy, you fucking little bitch. So
being mean to Kelly Noodle is like kicking a puppy. It's just
like what the hell are you talking about? First of all, if it's provoked by somebody, the other person who's retaliating isn't who started it. Mm-hmm. Secondly, like it was insane, man. She started going crazy. She started screaming and crying about like being raped at 5 years old, and like I was astonished at that response. Somebody sent her the questions that I was planning to ask her on my stream. So she wore herself out attempting to answer them and failed miserably. But like nobody asked her to do that. And she cannot for a moment like reflect on herself and think and like consider how unstable she is. And like it took her 5 hours and a bit to just say, Aimee, I just don't fucking like you. That's all that was. I just don't fucking like you. Like, she just doesn't like me, and that's fine. It's your attitude. It's this. Like, girls have done this shit to me so much that is just so unsurprising. Like, it's nothing to me. But if you're going to come at me, don't think I'm just going to sit here like a little bitch and not try to talk to you about it.
Oh, you're going to eat your apple and be very condescending. I understand.
I was not condescending.
Yeah.
I was pretty chill, you know? Like I was actually going to give her a shot to sit down and talk with me and have a conversation, and I had no faith that she was going to be able to have that conversation. Like if you can't she said this in her stream, if you can't take it, don't dish it out. Well, that is my advice to her, because I have eaten, well, it's not even shit to me. It's fucking Sarah Hatcher, for fuck's sake, right? But it's like, if you're going to say shit to me, you need to be able to deal with the repercussions of that. And that goes to for anybody. If you want to talk shit, understand that there will be repercussions to that.
Yeah. You know, at the end of the day, I kind of feel sorry for her, not sorry for her, but like I feel bad for people that behave like that. And like, here's the thing: is if it goes down further, then she'll be back to where, like, for example, Mike and Aaron, they're so low and so much fail that I don't feel bad for them. They're like a circus creature for my entertainment, or like a freak show. But like if you're right in the middle there, I'm just kind of like, I just kind of feel bad for you, you know. Like I wish you the best. I don't want to be a party to it. But so my question is, though, do you think she'll continue to slip down further into Aaron and Mike Mitzi territory and just the untouchable sort of pure poison?
I think she is already there.
For you? Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I blocked her on
shit like, oh, you're a whore, you're waving your boobs and ass around, and you're stealing people's mans, and it's like, oh, it's the same shit.
It's so transparently jealousy. You know?
Dan, she goes, you told Dan that you would let him fuck your titties and he's married and and I'm like, so?
So?
She's like, why would you say that to another man who's married? I'm like,
We're joking around. It's not going to actually happen.
But I'm like, you don't understand humor at all. She's like, yeah, fucking do. Like, you can't talk to somebody.
And then after saying she did, she said, why would you say that to a man a second time? She said, it's like, you just said why that it's humor. It's a joke.
Yeah.
It really boils down to jealousy. I think that's transparent and obvious.
I mean, have you seen Dan? Obviously, she's not gonna let him titty fuck. No, I'm just kidding.
Dude, in my mind,
I haven't seen you. I have no idea what you look like yet, Dan.
If it's like if you wanna play with the big boys, you're gonna get treated like a big boy, okay? Like that's how it is with me. If you think you can come at me with some shit and I come and confront you with that shit and you're gonna start having a problem, and it's so I start getting a headache, right? Because all the things that she was saying that I was doing was actually pure projection. She was the one doing all those things. She did not present herself with class. She did not come to me as an adult. She didn't do any of the things that she's prescribing that I do.
I boiled it down to one sentence. Devin this morning said, "What do you think is Sarah? What's Sarah Hatch's problem with you?" And I was like, I think she just doesn't like you. That's it.
That's it. That's it.
There's nothing more to it. I just don't like Aimee. That's basically what the whole her streaming and everything went down to. It's just I just don't like her. And
but why doesn't she like her?
Well, she has a bunch of reasons, right? Because you wave your ass around and you do this and the way you talk to people.
She started bringing up you guys.
Well, guess what? That just means you don't like Aimee's personality. That's what
you just don't like.
You don't like her. You don't like her. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I find that impossible.
Then you're getting upset that you're trying to be your friend, that a person you don't like and doesn't like you, and you're trying to be your friend. Obviously, it's not going to go well. You know what I'm saying? That's obviously what's going to happen when two people who don't like each other and one of them's trying to be the friend of the other.
But at the very least, I was able to maintain composure when I was having a conversation with her, because that's exactly what I said I would do. I'm going to be fair, and I'm going to just let her talk to me. And the first thing I asked her right off the bat was, why do you think why you call me a whore? Like, I wasn't fucking around. Yeah, I'm going to ask you why you're doing... Trailer park trash is the same thing as being a whore. No, it ain't. She's like, you call me trailer park trash. I'm like, you fucking are. She's like, you treat me like I'm a 2-year-old. I'm like, you fucking are a 2-year-old.
You act like a 2-year-old, yeah.
Like, what else would you like me to say?
Did that, the same thing I was just talking about with Chrissy, like, right? Eventually I think it was Gengel kept asking in the chat, like, what's your problem with Chrissy? Because there was that time she went after Aimee on Twitter, and then Chrissy just put her 2 cents in. It wasn't even that mean, she was just like, oh, Aimee just likes this and that. There's nothing wrong with that or something.
She was responding to me, actually. She wasn't even responding to Sarah.
and then Sarah responds with, and don't even get me started on you. Like, what? And we were like, yo, what the fuck? Like, Chrissy's never even interacted with her before. Like, why are you saying that? Like, well, you have issues with Chrissy now? You'd never even talk to her. Like, and then now she's talking about like, you haven't even gotten to know me. Yeah, well, you don't like Chrissy, and you didn't even know she has a boyfriend.
You don't even know me.
She doesn't even have a boyfriend. This single girl in England, like, she's not single. She's had a boyfriend this whole time.
You don't know my life. You don't know my life. I got raped and this and that.
Same thing.
Oh my God.
You're accusing other people of, and you're doing the same thing. Like hypocrite.
And then there was this gem. I wish more men were like Ethan. I like Ethan. Okay? Ethan is actually way better. He's good at dealing with the shit. We come at him. We fuck around with him. He's chill. He has no problem. He goes.
Ethan is nice to everybody. I mean, that's just his thing. But it doesn't mean that it's sincere. Like, he's just trained to, like, in his life to be nice to people.
Yeah, and he just laughs and shit.
So I prefer to be around real people. Like, I don't think Ethan dislikes me and pretends to be nice to me. I think I think we're both cool and we're both nice to each other, but I'm not very mean to him. I usually just joke around with him. But in the end, like, I would rather have that than have somebody come around and pretend to be nice to me, even though they don't like me and the things I do, and never say like, oh, I don't like that you do this,
I think Ethan should become the king of the vegans and supplant vegan gains and ask yourself.
Yeah. He's got cult experience, he can lead a cult.
Exactly.
a new vegan cult.
Yeah, Ethan is just undeniably nice to the end. Like,
yeah.
He's not going to be mean. He's definitely focused on that first and foremost.
That's where the whole serial killer thing started from, because he's so clean cut and nice and stuff. It's like, there's something weird about this. There's something off about him.
Ethan for Human President 2020.
Ethan for Human President.
Oh my God, that was amazing.
I will be your greatest human president.
I have analyzed the customs and features of your society, and I'm ready to assimilate you into my collective.
I mean our society.
Error. Loading.
I meant our society.
Oh my God, we had a lot of fun last night. There was a lot of fun. There was a lot of shit just said. It was
it was giving me a headache after a while. Like,
well, her voice is very grating. You know what I mean? It's very difficult to listen to.
And all the emotional instability.
Yeah, I was really happy with my stream though. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, you were very calm, cool, collected. You did fine.
Because I don't care, man. Like, the only reason I was doing that is because she doesn't shut up. Like,
it goes back to the other thing about like internet people, and it's like, yeah, you care a lot about veganism. We don't care, so you keep coming at us to talk about it. Well, you cared about being our friends. We didn't care about it back, and it's driving you nuts. But on our aspect is like, we didn't really care. You never connected with us at a point that we care. So
it was so amazing that she came in and kind of like had sort of an off-kilter sort of response from the community, and people were starting to be mean to her. And Chris said, "Hey, you guys, let's be nice to her." And we like did that for like a long time. And I was like, let the countdown begin. Like, this. I agreed with that
too, because everybody was kind of like the same thing you did with Ethan. Everybody was kind of like timing her out as a joke, just fucking around with her. I mean, everybody did too, and she's like, "You guys don't give Ethan a chance," but it's a joke. Ethan gets it's a joke and laughs about it. You know what I'm saying? And but in the end, it's. Oh, man, I'm losing my train of thought. Sorry. But in the end, it's just joking around, and she doesn't understand that. She gets really upset about it. And it's like, well, you have to, if you're going to be part of a group, you're going to have to see how that group operates and be part of that,
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head, too, with emotional instability, because she doesn't strike me as particularly stupid or particularly smart, but what I'm sensing, and I think the patterns really demonstrate this, is it's emotional instability. And I think like that video you posted, Aimee, really shows it, where it's like you said, she's all calm and collected, and then all of a sudden she's, fuck you, bitch. And it's like, that's a clear red flag for emotional instability, which everybody can be a little bit of that, but
it made me laugh because Aimee told her she was emotionally unstable, and she freaked out. I'm not like, oh shit. Like, yeah, you're not making a good point in proving you're not emotionally unstable by saying that way.
Case in point.
Yeah, it's not working out.
Yeah.
But we live in a deterministic universe, and so really you just got to have compassion for people who, they're on their journey. They're finding their way.
I understand the compassion part. I was seeing like what this guy was saying was Tim, and he was trying to like calm her down and be nice to her. But I think in some cases, like, she's too old, and she's getting her negative behavior fed into in a positive way, and that's not the way to go about it. People don't change if you give them positive reactions to their negative behavior. They continue to do it.
Yeah, there is something to be said for negative reinforcement, and most people understand that and respond well to that.
That's what I was telling him, because on Amy's stream, he was like, "Oh, I did all that work to calm her down so you guys could have a decent discussion." It's like, no, you went about it all wrong. Like, that's not what you should have done. You should have gone in there and told her, "Look, you're doing this wrong. You shouldn't act this way. You have to realize." You know what I'm saying? He was being too soft about it.
Yeah, but he was he started crying and shit, and he was being all weird, and he started talking about his domestic abuse charges, and it's like, yo, if you're trying to start over and shit, that's probably not the best.
Not a good idea to have that on the internet.
Like,
also, there's a thing to be said about people live streaming about very traumatic things in their lives and crying on stream about it and stuff like it. It's not the place for it. Don't do that. Like, that's just don't.
But this is the sad aspect of Sarah Hatcher, is that she is lonely. She does not have real friends.
I understand that. She has to be a very lonely person.
And it sucks. I mean, like, I was very sympathetic towards her for quite some time, because she just kept coming at me, and a lot of the time I just ignored it. She came at me in chats. I didn't respond to her. I didn't time her out. I've never banned her. Never once have I banned that bitch. And she talks so much shit at me in my streams, in Devin's streams, on Twitter. Never once did I ban her. But now over time, like, it's just like, no, you really don't learn. You keep doing the same thing over and over again. You want to talk about my behavior. Bitch, check your own behavior.
She flips out and then she's nice to people and then flips out again.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of here.
You're gonna have to learn how to curb your behavior and learn to bide your time. Take, choose your time correctly, and and take things with a grain of salt. You can't just get upset about everything. It just doesn't work.
Now hold on, did you just call her a bitch? Because I think that's a little inaccurate. She might be a little bit more of a twat waffle, to be fair. I don't want to be a stickler for the details.
A waffling twat.
Waffling twat. This is it's a verb.
Yeah, it sounds like a Western kind of title. Right? It's waffling twat.
Twat waffle sounds like a cool band name.
Yeah, twat waffle sounds like an all girl band, like a riot girl band. We're twat waffle, yeah.
Now I'm hungry for waffles. Hope you guys are happy.
For twat waffles. Oh, did you just DM me stuff? Who's this guy?
Who is this guy?
You. Oh, look at you. You're a good-looking guy, Dan.
Oh, thank you. I had to clear up any sort of insecurity you might have about that overwhelming fact.
What? I want a picture? What the fuck? Where's my picture?
I also asked you if you were chubby on our stream, and you said a little bit. You don't look chubby at all.
Oh, yeah, I'm a skinny bitch. I only send Aimee dick pics, and she's like getting all mad about that.
But can you send me like a picture of you? I want to see that. Is it the black and white one in the like suit?
Yeah, that one's cool. I like that one. It looks like
Dan's hot. You better tell your wife to watch out, man.
Oh, yeah, Aimee only goes after married men.
Yeah, I only go after married men. Homewrecking is in my blood.
Tempting men away from their wives.
Wow, is this live right now, or what's happening?
Live. I just exposed my love for you, Dan, everyone.
We got a weird triangle going with me, you, and David Penguin now.
Oh no, he's over me. He said he doesn't. He's done with that.
The romance has died. The flame is out.
He's that kind of guy, you know what I'm saying? He just into people for like a week, and then
Now you know that the fake podcast,
like a pair of socks.
Fucking use them, lose them. The fake podcast is streaming right now, and you guys are stepping on.
Dude, that's happened like twice already. That we.
What are they streaming about? Some boring political shit.
Yeah, they're very political.
That's what they do, though. I've told David many times, like, that shit's boring. Like, you guys should at least if you're talking about political shit, joke around more and stuff. And they have joked around a bit more, but still, the political stuff is boring. I don't mind watching them sometimes.
But when he's with us, David is unhinged and like asks all these crazy questions, and it's so fun. Like, I love talking to David when he's not on the fake podcast because he talks about totally different shit.
David is super funny, so it's really a spectacle that show gets so fucking dry and boring.
It's James.
There we go. Aimee starting another beat.
Boring Gate!
The sequel.
Part 2.
You know how many people have called boring today? I actually did kind of call like vegans who are all about veganism boring, and I kind of was talking about BWP at the time. So if she hears that, she might come at me or want to talk to me, but we'll see.
Chris said, I want a picture of Dan, not for weird sexual reasons at all.
Okay.
He likes using his gimpy hands to jerk off, so it feels like someone else is doing it.
Yeah, the stranger.
Yeah, the stranger, but it's a natural stranger. He doesn't sit on it. It's just my hands just always numb.
Dan makes badass fucking guitars. Yo, like I was talking to Dan about this, right? Because I'm like, oh yeah, so you make guitars for a living, right? How long does it take? I'm over here thinking like, oh, it'll be like a couple of weeks. He probably gets a guitar done, and he's like, yeah, it takes me about 6 weeks to do this portion of it, and then like another 6 weeks to do this portion, and I'm like, what? 12 weeks? So I finally opened my Facebook page yesterday, and I'm able to access his Facebook page, and oh my god, these fucking guitars are gorgeous. Like, I was like, I understand now. I understand why it takes you so long and why you have orders backed up and shit. They're beautiful. I saw this red and black one, and I was just like, dude, I wish I played guitar because this is fucking sick. Like, oh, I liked it. Very impressed.
We'll teach you to play guitar.
Yeah, we can, either one of us can help both.
Yeah.
Chris told me it's one of his lifetime goals to get one of my guitars and just hang it on his wall.
Yeah, that's cool.
I was like, oh, you're so sweet.
Make him one with a stormtrooper on it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that'd be cute.
Yeah, it's Star Wars stuff.
20% off for the scum fucks. I'm just throwing that out there.
Oh, so that's like what, $2,000? $1,400.
It's a good chunk of change. They usually go for about $1,100, so you're saving some money.
Oh
there.
yeah.
Well, what I'll do is eventually I'll mess one up and I'll just send it to Alf.
Yeah, here's my fuck up, and it's all like misshapen and badly painted and shit, chips missing and shit.
Yeah, I'm working on one of those right now.
I forgot to prime it. The paint's all chipping off. Sorry, man.
It's good enough for you.
Yeah, I'll play it as long as it plays. If it sounds good, I can play it. Fuck it.
You like Telecasters?
Not a huge fan, but I don't.
That's a no.
I'm a big Ibanez guy. I love Ibanez.
Yeah,
like
you're
my
a
guitar,
shredder.
I have a Joe Satriani custom Ibanez, the first GS one.
Nice.
With the wood finish. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen that one. It's a really nice guitar.
Yeah, I feel like we've covered this.
Yeah, I think so.
in one ear, not the other, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I already forgot your name.
I'm gonna let you guys do this for a couple minutes. I really need to use the ladies' room.
The poopy times. All right.
No pee-pee time.
Yeah. Go poop.
Stop.
Go poop that curry and vindaloo out.
Girls don't do that.
Yeah. I'm sure they don't.
Girls poop bubblegum, from what I understand.
They poop bubblegum. Bubbles come out when they poop.
Yeah, they blow bubbles. Insert
strawberries and cotton balls. Okay.
But they still grunt.
Oh, I've heard that before. I had to go to the bathroom and I hear it from outside. Like, somebody's here.
Oh God, for fuck's sake! Why is she always chatting?
Straight from London.
How'd you put up with this, mate?
You did it.
You have her on here, and she's always chatting.
Yeah, she did. She did commandeer the conversation. It's just been her time.
I bet she did. What's going on, Alfie?
Nothing. Just chilling, man. We're just hanging out. We got Dan here. I don't know if you can see.
I see Dan. Hi, Dan.
Hello, Jay.
Dan sent me a picture of himself. He's a good-looking guy. Did you know?
Don't go making everybody
I
jealous.
don't know why. I just envisioned Dan to be a fat dude for some reason. Not like really fat, but a little chubby. You know, I don't know why.
Little chubby.
I think you have fat voice.
I got fat voice.
Yeah,
Damn it, all the hell.
I think you have fat voice, man.
You're not the first person to say that, so I'm gonna let that
pass.
pass.
I think that's why I had that image of you.
On one of those white nationalist streams I went on, somebody's barking at me and they thought I sounded like a black guy. And I'm like, wow,
really?
That's amazing.
Listen here, Negro. You're like, what? Wait, no.
Easy.
First off, you're racist. Second off, I'm not
amazing.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
That guy, I will never get over the savagery of him asking Blair White how a little boy knows what a little girl feels like. I'll never get past that. That's the funniest thing to me. It's so savage.
So Jay, we obviously need a status report on Operation Bury the Banana.
Is she there with you? Tell her I said hi.
They're talking about you.
Yeah.
She can hear you.
Hi.
Oh fuck!
Oh, well, she can hear me
Abort!
No. You guys having a good time?
Strap on according to the chat.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you guys having fun? I saw that video
Yeah.
you posted of like you were walking down the street and she ran by the camera with like a big smile. It was really cute.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jamie.
Oh, sweet. It's time for the Jamie show.
I hate you both.
It's time for the super serious conversation about emotional stability.
About North Korea.
Is that what was happening in my absence?
No. Now, Jay came in pretty much right after you muted. And we've been talking to him, asking him how his day's going. They're having fun.
With tail on each other's bodies.
Amy, even though you muted, we can still hear your grunts a little bit.
Yeah, I heard Amy go.
I don't like this conversation. It makes
Listen,
it really weird.
What up, yo? Oh, thank you.
Come.
God.
I got a poop talk quota I got to hit, and we're almost there. So just hang in there, all right?
Oh, that's
My friend
Sean.
just came in and brought me nachos. That was very nice of him.
That's the one that's like always at you in the Discord. So yeah, we're just having a beer, chilling, smoking.
Cool.
Nice.
I'm gonna say hi.
Good.
I'm glad you guys are having fun. I hope you continue to have fun.
Me too.
And by fun, you mean?
Non-vegan conversations and such.
Oh, great. Amy brings up the vegan conversation. Cheers, Amy.
I love you.
Here's what I want to happen: is right when coitus is about to happen, right when Jay slips it in, he just whispers in her ear, "Fish are brain dead."
I'm gonna come. Fish are brain dead. Oh, what?
totally kill the mood.
Oh no. That vagina would clench shut so fast his dick would go flying out or get cut and be inside.
Circumcised. Finally
Well, you guys
circumcised.
have fun chatting
All right,
about
James.
whatever it is we're doing.
Yeah, that's probably what's gonna happen.
So what did you guys do? Are you
See you
leaving?
all
Are you
later.
leaving? You're leaving?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
did we
yeah,
upset
we're
you?
done.
I didn't say anything wrong, did I?
No, we just
Oh,
got
okay.
to do, like drink beer and
Yeah,
chat.
go
Yeah.
enjoy yourselves,
Converse.
Jamie. Love you.
I just came here to say hi.
I'm glad.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
Thank you for saying hi.
So is the
Yeah.
free speech event tomorrow?
Yeah, it is, and you'll see more about that live on my channel tomorrow. But until
Fuck
then,
yeah.
bye.
Bye.
3, 2, 1. Bye.
Bye.
3, 2, 1. Bye.
Bye.
No, I said 1, 2, 3 bye, not 3, 2, 1 bye. It's not the same thing, okay?
Whatever. Whatever. They're so gay.
There's such strange people out there. That's one thing
She's
the
so
internet
gay.
has done is bring our engagements.
Gay.
Right?
Yeah. Why do you think I really think I could make Aimee and Chill work. I just need to find a way to communicate with people who don't want to communicate. And then I have to convince them to pay me to share my time with them.
In order to learn how to communicate.
I need more of these people on this channel so that I need to I have this project going right now. I told Dan I'm gonna pick timestamp areas of the conversations I've had that are a bit crazy. And he's gonna help me with a little compilation, I suppose.
Channel trailer.
Yeah, for that.
Nice.
Could end up being 45 minutes long.
Could be, but it'll be fun though. At least it won't be one thing, right? It'll be a bunch of the different things. It'll be different parts of different conversations and some parts from the same. Because I'm gonna pick a lot from the conversation with Devin and Mike.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like Love Line, but instead of having love issues, it's just having social interaction issues.
Use that to run.
Oh, those nachos are good.
Oh, nachos.
Now I want waffles and nachos. I hope you're happy.
Get waffle nachos, right? Get those. No, you know what? Make waffle fries. You know what waffle fries are?
Mm-hmm.
Seasoned waffle fries, and then you make you put nacho stuff on top of it, like nacho cheese and bean, refried beans and shit. And vegetables. That should be good.
We have these things here at the bowling alley called pachos. They use waffle fries instead of the nachos, and they put salsa, sour cream, and green onions and shit on it.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
So good. Yeah.
I've made that at home, but not with the waffle fries, but with regular fries.
Yeah.
Like cheese fries, but it's like nacho style cheese fries. It's Mexican cheese fries.
Ew, Marino.
Then make a blue waffle.
Oh, that's the fucking nasty shit.
Gross.
Ever.
We so studiously avoided the blue waffle. And there it is.
And Marino's got to ruin everything. What happens when you're old? You just nobody wants to talk about and make everybody grossed out. I had my wife change my diaper today, and then some poop fell out of it and landed on the floor.
Oh my god!
I got a
piece of poop fell on the floor from my pants.
Where are you going to the store?
Look at this guy talking to his husband all the time,
Yeah, I only have 30 bucks left.
Nigga, mute your mic and shit.
Mute your mic. Mute your headset.
Never. I can't stop talking ever.
It's my stream. I'll talk to whoever I want.
Bitch!
Amy, I'm gonna have to time you out now. I thought it was funny that she told people she was gonna have to time them out before she timed them out every time.
Yeah, it was funny.
I could see doing it once or twice, but it was every single time.
Because
this is my channel.
I like that Devin pointed out this morning. He's like, I love how she's like, yeah, you're a stupid bitch. And Amy's like, uh-huh.
Okay, yeah, I'm a bitch, and
Yeah,
and then, like, continue the conversation. Go ahead. Finish.
Oh my god, so much fun. Oh my god, that Isol douche came after me yesterday. Oh my god. What are you doing with your life, homegirl?
What's your 5-year plan, homegirl?
Get the fuck out of here. Who are you? That's all I would have kept saying. Who are you?
Oh my
Who are you?
god.
I don't know you.
Yo, target acquired. I'm gonna light up his comment section just based off that one interaction.
Yeah. Dude, that guy was like, I'm like, so what are you called? Because the first night I went in there, I asked, and he's like, oh, my name is blah, 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 but you can call me by my YouTube name, which is like 4 different words with dashes in between. And I'm like, is this guy for fucking real?
Yeah,
like, do you have a girlfriend, buddy? Do you have a girlfriend? Do you tell her to call you by your YouTube name too? You fucking
YouTube name.
I'm a nihilist.
I'm
Hey,
gonna
I'm
tell you, honey, when we're in public, you gotta call me by my YouTube name.
It's free advertising.
My Discord friends.
Oh my god, man.
Yeah, that guy was really fucking annoying.
It's funny that it happens to me too, because people ask for my real name, and I'll be like, "It's Alf," and they think I'm lying, and they think it's like an internet name or something. I'm like, no, my name is really Alf. You based your character on an 80s fucking sitcom puppet. Like, no, it's just the avatar. My name is really Alf. It's the whole point.
Oh my god, that's
Dan's
so
name is
funny.
really Drunk Superman. That's why he has that.
Yeah, and my real name's Steamroller. Hello. Oh my god, people are really dumb on the internet, especially these young kids too.
The lame Alfie. Remember that?
Alfie!
Remember the meme he made?
The meme.
It was like a dude on top of a mountain and shit. He was with his hand pointing up, he was screaming, Alfie! From a mountain.
I remember.
That's because he got really drunk and came on my very first stream where it was like from the Discord. Remember? He just kept saying, Alfie!
Yeah. We were like, oh my god, Delane, shut up. Stop. Devin would be talking and Delane would be like, Alfie! Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So funny. Oh, good times. Good times.
I'm just reminded about the series ending for Alf, and now I'm depressed. Oh, yeah.
What happened? He died?
I used to like that show a lot when I was a kid. I don't remember what the series ending was now, but it had to be something like that. Maybe the government finally came and took him, because that was the whole reason why they were hiding him in his house, because if they let him out, the government would come and take him and autopsy him and shit.
A blue waffle is just Sarah Hatcher turned blue. Dude, Alexandria is on a roll, man.
Yeah.
Swear to God.
Yeah, we didn't see Alex for a while, and then she's come back hard. Doing some great memeing, some great jokes.
Yeah, I'm glad you're back.
I like it. Alex, continue.
I subbed to her channel this morning.
Yeah, me too.
And I just learned that YouTube gaming was a thing.
I just saw that she was streaming this morning. I saw the tweet, and I was like, I retweeted it. But that was during this stream, so I'll sub to your channel afterwards, Alex. I haven't had time.
I'm a very busy man.
And I wait, who posted this? Where did I just see this? I was in the Discord. You just posted something in Discord, Amy? All right.
Me?
Alfie and Amy. Yeah, Chris just posted it in there. I'm going to download it right now so I can screen share it, and we will read that together. And laugh.
Oh my god, she's actually
and laugh like the evil people we are. That's evil. I like rich guy evil. The rich, like English evil guy that's like laughs like a puppet. The way their mouths move.
Yeah.
He asked me for $1 and I spit in his shoes.
Fucking A.
All right, ready? I'm presenting to it.
All right, let's do this.
So it's the whole beginning thing about what you read before the comment, and then Chris said what, and then you said, "Why are you trying?" Or you read that one out too when you were typing. So, and then Nailty Puff said, "No, she wasn't. I've seen this from the outside because I'm not on Discord. I'm not in chats as often as I'd really like. Aimee was giving you a chance to hash out what problems you had. You spent 3 hours working yourself up and came to the conversation hostile. You had a chance, an opportunity that most don't get to fix something that was wrong and learn from it and move on. I suggest you and Aimee just ignore each other. I don't know what you have against her. She told jokes you don't approve of. She's intelligent. She behaves in manners you don't approve. So what? From where I sat, it all sounded very personal, like attacking someone you're jealous of or something. So for the sake of everyone, let's just try to be civil and leave each other alone. Okay? that's Nelty Puffs. She did a great thing she just said. And it makes a lot of sense. And there's a woman who's like, she's very shy. She doesn't talk to people very much. You know, it like seems to be a struggle for her to like socialize with people. And you know, she is very nice when you're nice to her. You know, she's always very nice. She always tried to be nice, but you know, it's a person who, you know, seems to struggle with like socially interacting with people, and she's giving her great social advice, you know, like, hey, look, this is how you're supposed to handle this situation. And she's right. She's 100% right. It's good advice. That's exactly how you should handle it.
She can't help herself though. She's probably going to try. She'll come back and comment some more.
Yeah. And be apologetic, and then she'll flip out again.
I had her blocked actually. The only way I was able to respond to that comment was because I unblocked her today and I left that response. I wasn't going to respond at all, but it's like, stop. I have to stop.
She's still going with it. Yeah, just stop. Just give it up. You know, like you tried to be friends with some people in the community. They didn't. They weren't very open to the idea, and you got angry about it.
So my question is this, right?
Sorry.
Why is it that people lie about things that are so clearly on camera? Like there's a chronological order to this shit. Everything is recorded. Everything you said is recorded. Everything I said to you is recorded. There is a digital footprint of all these things, and you're still trying to lie and start shit. And it's like, how do you not see? How?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Is it lying if you're just delusional and you believe your bullshit?
I guess not.
Yeah,
but yes, it is. Technically it is, but I guess
that's exactly what lack of self-awareness is, right? Like you don't lack self-awareness, so you're basically living in lies and don't know you're living in lies.
It's amazing to me.
You're not aware of yourself.
It's amazing to me how hard it is for people to take good advice. Like even think about people can't take their own good advice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like you're the one that told you that.
Yeah, you're the one that told you that. You told yourself that. You still haven't done it. And now you're telling me that.
And it's so much easier to give it than it is to take it. And that's for so many things.
You shake your ass. Like, does she go up to strippers all the time? And like, or if she sees like a hooker on the street, she'd be like, "You're out here taking man away from their wives." I doubt she talks to people like that on the street all the day.
The implication being that you just compared Aimee to a stripper. I get it.
Yeah.
She called me a damn whore. She said, I'd have more respect for you if you charged money for that. And I'm like, so if I was an actual whore, then okay. Yeah. All right, that's cool.
A whore, but I'd have more respect for you if you were an actual whore. We don't like whores being whores.
No, wait. Sorry. I'm not a whore. I exhibit whorish behavior.
Yeah, so what? If you exhibit behavior of something that you're not, who cares? You're not that thing, so it doesn't matter.
I don't care, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'm just saying in general, like, why would somebody care about that?
How would you feel if somebody was flirting with your man or somebody were talking to him like he's an adult? He can handle himself. And if he ends up wanting to be with somebody else, that's just how it goes.
I told some dude today I would rape him. Like, does that really make me a rapist now? Because I told someone I would rape
him. I also did that last night to one of those vegans, and then I found out he was 17.
Today.
Oh, the boy pussy guy?
Yes.
Which one's the boy pussy guy?
Oh my god, he just kept talking shit at Dan about how he's like, your dick's so small, blah blah blah, and Dan's like, I just want to fuck you in the boy pussy so bad. They just kept going back and forth. It was so ridiculous.
Fuck you in the boy pussy.
Oh my god, I regret that so much, and I also regret this is live, right? Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, well, now it's cemented in.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've committed some sort of crime and then now advertised it in the public forum.
Depends on what state. Depends on what state you're in. I mean, the age of consent in New Jersey is 16. So
I think that was a girl. Was it a girl or a boy?
I'm gonna assume that was a 21-year-old woman, and
I think if it
sounds like a girl.
It has a girl's name, but it's a boy. A gay boy. But it might not be the same one I'm thinking of.
Let me ask you: is your boy pussy in a fallen state?
That's amazing.
Would you like it to be?
Do you think humanity is in a fallen state?
In a fallen state.
A fallen state. It's like STAH.
Yeah.
I don't know how to even say that to you. It's like so weird. It's like blacks. He says bless.
He definitely had he has like a cleft lip or something that got repaired.
Do you think that bless that I had out of wedlock are mentally retarded?
I love that guy.
Yeah, I do too.
I love how he asks a question and then the person will dodge it and he'll just go right on to the next question as if they didn't dodge it.
Yeah.
No commitment to his premises. He just wants to get out as many of these.
Yeah.
The questions are all loaded and obtuse.
Yeah. He just wants to plow through these loaded questions and see their reaction to it, I guess.
But the reaction is telling enough, isn't it? In a lot of those situations, yeah.
That's what makes it interesting. That's what makes the show interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I love how I get these little glimpses of scale of Aimee and her itsy bitsy self. And she holds up an apple and it looks like this giant apple. Or she's got this water bottle, and all of a sudden I'm getting some sense of scale here.
Oh yeah, that bottle's really tiny. It looks huge, but it's a tiny bottle.
That's the smallest bottle she could find, and look how big it is.
I think if I plopped my dick on her, she'd fall over. It's too much.
Oh my god!
You ever seen those porn where they put the guy's giant penis next to a girl's face and shit? That's what I feel like. Or they put their whole forearm in front of it to show the scope of length. Speak one of those next month.
You guys are making me cry.
So, let this be a lesson.
That's calling the kettle black. Remember that from last night? Oh, Alex, it's so funny. And Jay gave no reaction to that joke, and we were in Discord what? And started laughing. Was that actually a joke? And he was like, really? You guys didn't laugh at that joke? No, nobody laughed at that joke.
Oh my lord!
What an interesting day it was yesterday.
It's just the last few days have been insane. Sitting in the AIU Discord and listening to Isaac and Richard talk shit, that was hilarious.
Yeah, that was hilarious too.
That was a monumental level of cognitive dissonance. They were just going so deep on their misunderstanding, fundamental misunderstanding. It's amazing. Non-ironically, I'm literally amazed.
Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. I felt like we've dealt with a lot of just spurgy fucking cunts the last few days. That Peep kid. Oh, that Peep kid is just
he's a kid.
Yeah, I know. He is a kid, but
yeah, it was amazing. We were having a total jovial conversation on sentientism or Satanism. And like clockwork, he came in and he was trying to hold it together, but you could tell it was just inching towards it, and then he fucking totally spurged out and rage quit.
Yeah. Oh, he actually left the server, or he left the voice chat?
He left the voice chat, and everyone was trying to say, "Oh, he didn't rage quit." I'm like, listen, man, he sounded very frustrated, and he said, "Fuck it, I'm out." What the hell would you call that?
Yeah,
that's a quintessential rage quit. That's what I hope to achieve with all of my adversaries online. Just quit. Throw your computer out a window. Go get some fucking sunlight.
Yeah, sunlight for real. Sunlight.
Yeah, it's still sunny for you. It's dark over.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think what else? Are we gonna do anything after this? Are we just gonna chill for a bit?
Yes, I don't know.
Okay. I'm just asking because I do want to catch a little bit of sun now that he said that.
We're going with the flow.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, we could still chill for maybe 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, and then I'm thinking I'm gonna rollerblade in the graveyard for a bit.
Rollerblade you're so goth, Aimee. God.
I'm so goth. Did you know I had a goth face? Did you know in grade 9?
I've seen a picture of you, an old picture of you, where I could tell you were in a goth face.
Oh my god, dude.
So what were the gothic bands that influenced this?
She
It
just
wasn't. I
style.
didn't listen to any gothic bands. I just wore all
You just like,
black and was really emo.
and talked about how nothing really matters.
Nothing really matters.
Were you a nihilist?
No, I
No.
pretended to be though.
They
Oh,
kill they kill animals for me. It doesn't matter. I don't
Doesn't
care.
matter. Whatever.
I wasn't
Like-
a nihilist. I just played one in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that one guy a vegan nihilist? Like, how are you a vegan and a nihilist? Why would you care?
Why do you care?
Yeah, why do you care? It's just the way. It's just what happens.
Yeah,
Hmm.
square that circle for me. How's that work?
Yeah, how does that work? Like an anarchist who wants to be a cop or something. Like, like what? The first anarchist president. Like, how does that work?
I think those are just called libertarians, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess those are people who are trying to maybe be anarchist and be authoritative figures at the same time.
Aimee is still a scene kid. You're totally right. I
Yeah,
am a
such a
scene
scene
kid.
lame.
Yeah.
I mean, if you made it through your youth without becoming a fashion victim of one kind or another, then fucking hats off to you.
Yeah,
there's something wrong
totally.
with you.
Totally.
Yeah, I had a pair of Jenkos.
I was about to say I used to wear Jenkos, and that was quite shameful.
I had one pair. I didn't have multiple pairs.
Oh, I had multiple pairs. I was all about
no.
that. I might as well just gone full and just like worn a dress.
I used to skate in them.
Yeah.
I
A lot
would
of
love
wind
to see
resist-
you in a dress.
Yeah. Okay. Pictures sent.
Interesting.
Oh, people here.
Amy, can I punch you in the veg? Is that allowed?
I mean, if you do it continually, yeah.
Oh, shit. With my fist? Are you sure about this? I know my hands aren't huge, but they're a little thick. You know,
They're a little thick.
they're a little thick, but they're not
Well,
huge.
I
or
mean,
anything.
it's probably going to take you a while for that initial
keep
punch to
punching
do
until
what
you
I
break
wanted to
through.
do.
Just keep punching until you break through.
You're going to re-break my hymen.
Just do it.
Alpha's more of a punch fuck guy. Me myself, I'm more of a kick fuck guy.
Fuck guys.
Oh, no. That I can't
Yeah.
allow that.
You haven't finished your job till all 5 toes are in there.
Ew. You guys are gonna give me the feet
Till it
stuff.
stops by your shins.
Like, ow. No, yeah, I'm not into fisting at all. The
Ugh.
one porn I can't get into. Like,
Have
Just
you
the
tried
one.
it? It's such a weird
too much.
experience.
Yeah, I think that's where you've crossed the border. Like, you've gotten a little too far.
I agree.
3 fingers, cool. When you can go down and only your thumb is sticking out, that's the border.
No, dude. My ex tried to do it and it was just too hard for him to get his fist in there. Like you have to it's too much work. And it hurts. It hurts. Like a girthy dick, fine. But a fist, man, like I don't know how women even allow like that ass fisting shit freaks me out, man. Like I'm just like
then you got like 40s and bowling pins and shit. And it's like, dude, what are you doing, girl? What are you doing?
Baseball bat.
This isn't even sexual. Yeah, it's not even sexual anymore. Like, you know,
it's like, what can we stick in here? Let's just stick whatever we fucking can in this thing.
It becomes athletic at that point, like a sport.
Yeah. Well, there are those that can shoot like ping pong balls into a beer mug. Like,
yeah. What's the training regimen for that?
Yeah.
Somebody in their bedroom, just
what is
like
that called when you work out your vaginal muscles? I forgot.
Kegels.
Kegels.
Yeah, there you go. That's Kegel workout right there.
Yeah.
Elbows deep within the borderline.
No, good Tool reference.
Marino said Tool right before I started singing that. Good call. He's gonna hear me sing it now because it's always a little behind.
Yeah.
Be like, oh shit. Yeah, we basically did it at the same time. That's great.
Great minds.
Yeah, great minds.
So you guys have never have you ever had the desire to fist a vagina? Tell me your fisting experience if you have any.
I've never had one. I've never got past like 2-3 fingers. That's
yeah.
I don't see the point in that.
That's good enough for you, right? You're just like whatever.
Yeah.
What about you, Dan?
I do whatever I'm asked to do, and I have not been asked to do that. But I've been asked to choke a girl, and I found that very weird because I didn't like it. It was weird.
For a dude, it's like you're not getting any pleasure when you're not using your dick, right? Like if you're just fingering a girl,
That's true.
you pleasure them and get them moist and ready for your penis, right? Like that's kind of the point.
Okay, so what have you done to a girl that she wasn't expecting that worked out?
Surprise butt sex.
Oh,
Okay.
no, that's never worked out for me. Surprise butt sex is quick turnaround and what are you doing? It hurts.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: is you want it to be a slightly padded surprise, so you don't just go straight in.
That
But
doesn't happen. That doesn't happen.
maybe for you.
Oh yeah, yeah, it doesn't happen to me.
But... one time a girl gave me surprise butt sex. That was interesting.
Oh god damn. Oh,
What a way to frame that.
Were you
Like,
in Vegas or?
I don't know if it was fingers or a strap-on. Which one
It was fingers. It was fingers. You're not sneaking up on me with a strap on. I got my eyes open.
Well,
My head's on a pivot.
There was one time I was on, there was one time, well, what you were asking me before. There was one time I was on ecstasy and I did go try to finger a girl's butt, like I was gleaming the rim, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
just skimming it, you know, like checking out the perimeter. And she was like, "Oh no, I don't do that." And she grabbed my wrist and moved it out the way. I was like, "All right."
That was nice of her to assert herself. I just acquiesced.
Oh my god. I got surprised butt sex from a girl once. Dan, 2018.
You realize this is live, right? And everybody's could watch this.
Once again, I do need to be perpetually reminded of the
24
situation.
people right now. There's 24 people right now smacking their foreheads like, what just happened? Dan just killed me.
So Alf, I got a question for you. Have you ever been with a nymphomaniac that was wanted it so much that it made you like kind of sick of it?
Almost every time, yeah. Almost every one of my girlfriends.
Oh, okay. Well, that's probably doesn't
And
have
every
anything to do
girl
with
I,
them.
Fucked with, you know, that we weren't dating and I just fucked with. Yeah, that was almost every time. I would get calls a lot, like all the time. Like, hey, it's been like a week since we had sex, and you want it again. Like, all right.
Wait, that's not enough time for you? What? I want
No, but I mean like girls that I'm not dating, you know, like just.
Oh.
So it's like, you know, we'll get it on like for a whole night, and then, you know, they leave, and then it's like a week later they're calling me again. Like, hey,
That's your fucking fault, dude.
So that girl that gave me surprise butt sex, also, she was like, she wanted it like 3 times a day. And at that point, you're not seeking pleasure, you're running away from pain, obviously.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it was just so surreal to be like in your mid-20s and be like, oh, I don't really want to fuck right now. And she's grabbing my dick, and I'm like, this is weird. All right.
It happens. That's a problem with dating nymphomaniacs. Like, if you have sex too much, it slowly starts turning
diminishing returns.
Trying to avoid doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's happening so much. Eventually, you're just like, and then you'd rather just like jerk off, because it's like, well, I don't want to go through all this trouble of doing that. You know, like, rather just jerk off. Jerking off is easy. That becomes an issue too.
That's what sucks about not having good physical chemistry. Is like.
But physical sex is it's tiring. You know,
Hell yeah, it is.
Those get sore. You know, you sweat a lot. It's tiring. You breathe heavy. And sometimes you just want to rub. You know, you want to come, but you don't want to go through all that trouble. So it's like you just want to rub
exactly.
I'm just gonna go and jerk this off real quick, and I'm really quick at it because I know how to please myself very well.
And I like how the expectation,
like almost 40. So.
You notice the expectation is by default the guy is supposed to do all the work, and then
I know, right?
I actually prefer that. I'm a very dominating sexual presence, I guess.
Right.
I prefer to be the dominant one and do all the work.
But as you just outlined, it's exhausting.
Now I don't remember who it was, but I was talking with somebody saying that, like, oh yeah, like when you get a girl that doesn't do anything, and I'm like, that's not a problem. Like, that's fine if they don't do anything. You grab them, twist them around like a pretzel and get to work. You know, like, what the fuck?
Jamie.
yeah, maybe. And I related this story of a friend of mine. We went to Seaside Heights. This was like, you know, when I was like 20 or 21. And Seaside Heights is like the shore here, right? That's where everybody goes to go to the beach. And we rented a motel. You know, we were hanging out. We met these girls, and my friend started getting really close to this one girl. And they were like, he was like, yo, you guys mind if I go back to the motel room? And, you know, you guys wait like an hour or something to come back? Like, yeah, sure. Come back after an hour. He's standing outside smoking a cigarette, and we're talking to him. And we're like, yo, how'd it go? He was like, oh, yeah, she was just laid there like a dead fish. And I was like, yeah, okay, and? You know, he was like, it sucked. I'm like, what? And me and this other guy are like laughing, like, what do you mean it sucked? So you fucking make it work, you know? Like, well, how the fuck does it suck? Fucking put her face down and spread her cheeks.
You know what else is super gay? Like, girls or guys who don't do oral. They're like, nope, it's just not my thing. I don't do it. I'm like, what?
It took me a long time to get good at it, just because girls never really asked me to do it, and I just, you know, I just go with the flow. So I never really tried. And then eventually, when I did try, I wasn't very good at it.
Yeah.
But eventually you get
Well-
girls who are like not afraid to teach you things. The same thing works the other way around. I've had bad blowjobs.
That is just helpful when you're like, listen, I don't like
Get a
that.
girl
I don't
who's
like
willing to
this.
listen
Can
to
you
you.
do it like this? Can you do it like that? Like, why wouldn't there be a dialogue? I've never
Yeah,
understood
that's what I'm
that.
saying. Eventually it happens too, where you're with a girl and you're like, you know what, I'm not really into the way you give blowjobs. Can I give you some tips and pointers?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And
just
every
open your
guy's
mouth and
different.
Face fuck. Actually, that's how the whole face fuck thing started. It was like,
move
yeah,
is-
this sucks. I'm gonna grab her hair and fuck
Yeah.
her face, like, and make this work.
That's the move. Is you grab them by the ears
Yeah.
and the hair, and you
By the
kind of
ears?
demonstrate.
The ears? No, the hair.
No, both.
He's saying the ears.
What?
Right? No, yeah. I had never done it grabbed by the ears. I like grabbing the hair.
What, do you mean like, okay, when you said grab by the ears, this is what I pictured you doing.
Like with your fingertips, because you can't really like palm ears, so you got to grab them by your fingertips. Like, ding, 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 ding. It's so funny. It's funny.
Dainty little grip with your pinky out.
Yeah, with your pinky out. Right? You got to be confident.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
a posh face fucking.
It's called being sensual and soft.
Marina said, "Just pretend you're eating a guinea pig." I do eat guinea pigs with my pinky sticking out.
No, but see, I always thought oral sex was like obligatory before sex. Like I always thought foreplay was necessary and it had to involve oral sex.
I agree.
I don't know what
Not
happened.
all, obviously not all, right? Sometimes.
I'm not into the violent sex things. I'm not big on grabbing throats and stuff.
Yeah,
it's a little too violent for me. I don't know.
I
Yeah,
guess I'm a psycho.
Yeah,
I
you
like
are
it.
a psycho. So I mean,
oh shit. Does Amy like to be choked? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I'll
Yeah.
do it to you anyway, but I'm just not that into it.
I don't know.
I think that's how I've like channeled my abusive past. Is now it's like a sexual fetish. You know what I mean?
So you like people grabbing you by the throat and then kicking you in your asshole, and
No.
going ankles deep in your asshole.
kick foot.
You're making your
Why
shoe,
does
bitch.
this go from like
I want
just a
you to
little
make me your
bit?
shoe. I want you to wear me like a sock.
Oh my god.
And then throw me out like a crusty sock.
Fucking hell. So
Jesus.
I
So
feel like
it-
turning women into pretzels, though. That's always fun.
yeah, pretzel neighbor. So this girl asked me to choke her, and the way I took it was like, this isn't good enough. I need it to be better. You know, like I took it like kind of as an insult. I was like, you need to be choked. Like this.
Oh,
isn't
I don't
good enough.
need it. Let me just say that. I don't need to be choked. There's a difference between needing to be choked while you're like needing any particular thing that's outside of the realm of vanilla, depending on what it is. Like there's degrees, right?
Yeah, you can't
That'll-
have vanilla, though. That's a little too.
Hey, if you need it, you need it. You
That'd be a
know?
little rough.
No, fair enough.
There's a
but,
difference
like,
between violent and rough, right? Like I like rough.
yeah.
Like this. That's like I had a girl. I was with a girl once who like getting punched in the ribs when she was orgasming. So like when she was orgasming, she would like tap me in the fucking leg, like to like now punch me in the ribs. Yeah, and I do it. I'd be like pow, like right in the ribs, real hard. Like the first time I did it, it wouldn't be that hard. And she's like harder, and I'm like, all right, bow. And she like, and then she like crimp her like ribs to the side. She'd turn to the side a little bit, like crimp herself, and just be like, oh, but she'd love it. And then she'd just lay down and be like,
Oh
I'm
my
like, oh.
god.
I'm like, this chick got issues, yo. Like what?
I like how if you're dating someone like that, and then you see bruises start popping up on them that you didn't give them, you know exactly what's happening.
Oh yeah, true. Good point. It's like I haven't punched you in the ribs in like a week. Like that bruise should not be that purple. What's going on?
You're monitoring the situation.
Someone else punching you in the ribs, bitch.
Oh my goodness.
You're cheating on me with another punch.
So have you ever cheated on somebody and the person you cheated with like scratched your back or gave you hickeys or something and you're like, what do I do?
What do I do?
You're fucked.
I've been in that situation.
So I was in that situation with a pretty steady girl, and she was out of town, and other girl scratched my back up and gave me these hickeys, and then my girlfriend's parents came over, and I'm like, oh fuck, man, and suffice to say, they ratted me out.
Oh no. Jay has Dan has a very open speech and live stream. He just admitted to being a cheater and shit.
Yeah, that's all we're under the bridge. This boy pussy
a
thing,
17-year-old boy.
I didn't want to actually do it as much as
No, I know.
it.
And surprise butt sex on yourself.
Yeah. So I see a Google Hangouts link
Imagine
pop up.
I was masturbating one time and I surprised butt sex to myself.
Myself,
Yeah, how do you do that? You have a wandering hand.
the stranger.
Yeah, the stranger. I have a wandering hand. It all started when I jerked off in the shower and slipped and fell
Oh
on
my
my
God.
hand.
I tell you what, I see that Google Hangout link pop up in my inbox, and I'm like, what fucking shit am I going to say in the public realm today that I'm going to regret for the rest of my life?
The public space.
That's gonna happen every time. Every time you go on a live stream, you got to think about how you're gonna embarrass yourself today.
Yeah, it's pretty much my policy. I actually have a short list of things. So we're at 5 out of 6. So
I'm never gonna forget this, Dan. I'm never gonna forget that you got surprise butt sex from a girl. Holy shit.
Oh, Tim's
was
here.
good.
Hey, Tim.
Oh, hey, Tim.
Hey, Tim. I mean, sock cookers. I like that. The sock cookers is kind of funny.
sock cookers.
Oh my God!
He
Yes.
was talking shit about me yesterday, wasn't he? Saying that he got Sarah all prepared. Motherfucker, you could never prepare Sarah for something like that. You just couldn't.
Kick
This is
fucker.
relevant.
Yeah.
Watch. What is this, Sean?
I don't know. Go see.
Yeah, I think I'm very pornographic in nature when it comes to sex.
How-
What do you
what's
mean
that?
in your description? You mean like
Oh, no,
when you describe it, or
what I like to do during sex? It's very much like a porn.
yeah?
A lot of
Not with,
uncomfortable
like I said,
positions.
minus the really crazy stuff, but I do like that kind of like face fucking and
I don't know, man. A lot of those
Isn't that
positions.
don't all guys like that?
pounding assholes and then full Nelson and
Good night, bitch.
yeah, get that. But that's what I mean by turning into a You ever seen those? Like when they do the full Nelson anal
Ooh.
thing?
No.
No, oh man, damn,
Uh,
you're missing out, dude.
I'm-
You're gonna have some jerk. Look up full Nelson anal. You're gonna have some great jerk off sessions tonight, and then experiment with your wife later tonight.
Yeah.
Hey, baby, check out this video. I want to try something. Full
As long as she's
Nelson.
flexible, I guess somebody has to be somewhat flexible to do it.
Surprise full Nelson sex.
Surpriseful, but yeah, you could. It's a position that's very difficult to get out of if you're strong enough. Like if you're strong, well, I mean, if you're the strong person's the one's doing it to the other person, it's hard for them to get out of it. So you can literally do the surprise butt sex and they can't get out of it. But I
That's
guess
what we
kind of
commonly
rape.
refer to as rape. But if you want to,
Anal rape, but you know,
Alf's got some
girls
sort of like
that.
MMA and porn hybrid going, but we just all call that rape.
Technically, I can't rape women because once I start doing it, they like
They love it. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're a little angry at first, but afterwards they're like, "Oh my god!" Like hypnotizing people. I just wave it in front of them. You're getting sleepy.
Really, they're just amazed that much foreskin can exist on one person.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of whipped them with it and like Indiana Jones and pulled them in. Like,
Alf is tying women to the bedpost with his foreskin.
What were we talking about? Strippers? I was saying I put $1 on my foreskin and whip it at them, and they have to try to catch it up. If you can catch this $1, you can keep it. I think it was Dorito talking.
I gotta pee again. I'm also gonna make a smoothie. I'll be right back. Stop it!
I like to make the dollar bills into little paper planes.
Oh,
and
look at her
fly
face.
them at the strippers.
But I think it all started from Marino talking about strip clubs in Toronto, and I was like, "You don't want me to go there. They'll slip on my semen after I jerk off on the stage, and and I'll be whipping my foreskin with $1 on it for trying to get them to catch it." I was like, I'm the wrong person you want to go with you to a strip club.
I feel like Marino might own a strip club. That's the vibe I'm getting from him.
Like an Italian mob boss, right? He's got like two really fucking moose knuckled ass dudes like smacking their fists together in the entrance.
Before every shift, he has all the strippers line up in front of him, and he like walks down the line and assesses them.
Yeah, you're not good enough. Go away. See your ID. No, but I'm old enough. Yeah, you're not pretty enough. Go away.
Not pretty enough.
You're hurting the view. Go.
Like normally he talks like a Canadian, but when he's got the strippers all lined up, he takes on like an Italian accent, and someone's playing mandolin behind him. I do not approve of this waistline. What can you do about this? You are out of the line.
You're out of the line. Please go away. Please.
Please do not embarrass yourself. Just go.
Yeah, just go. Get out of the presence of Marino.
Third person.
Yeah, we're talking about it first. Oh, you dare come on Marino's line with that dress on? Oh.
It's like a race car themed strip club.
Yeah, oh, totally. You would totally have like an F1 fucking strip club.
Checkered flags all over the walls.
They call it fingers, but but it's like F1, you know.
F1 Ingers or F1 niggers.
Yeah,
NERS. What's that sound like to you?
I like to go fast.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, well, we've got some interesting people we've met that are funny as fuck. It's
Yeah,
weird the spectrum of people you meet, right? Like basically being a fan of a YouTuber and fucking meeting all the people that are connected with that. It's like a weird fucking dynamic, right?
Yeah. Last night we actually
say like Devin does have a really good amount of like cool people that watch his videos, you know, and are fans.
Yeah, he's like a lightning rod for good people.
Yeah,
and I immediately recognized that.
And I really do think it has to do with like the way he interacts with his audience. You know, he's very selective. That's kind of what it is, right? People, you see all these like butthurt people out there like, "Oh, Devin blocks people, blah blah," and I was like, well, that's kind of like a screening for like to keep cool people around if you think about it.
Yeah,
and it's true. All the people who ever come to you and say that Devin blocks them, you talk to them for a while and you're just like, oh yeah, this guy's just a douchebag. Like, why would anybody want you around? Nobody wants you around.
Yeah, it's you can't overstate the value of extricating bad people from your life. That's such. It's funny how, you know, in the entertainment world, everyone has to please everybody. You know?
Yeah, fuck that shit. I never understood that. I always hated the whole thing about you're supposed to be a role model. Like, I hate that. And it's like, no, I just became famous. I don't care about being a role model. I didn't do this to be a role model. Why do I have to be a certain way? Because I play music or something. I play music, millions of people like it, and now I have to be a role model. That's
right.
Why can't I just live my life?
So like recently Kevin Hart got his like best friend of 15 years like recorded Kevin Hart cheating on his wife.
Oh.
And it's like this big thing, and it's like, man, that must suck to be famous and have everybody all up in your shit like that. You know?
His best friend blew it up on him. That's
yeah. His best friend tried to extort him with it too. So fucking hell, man. But I mean, like,
it's true what they say about like when you become rich like that, you don't know who your friends are. You know, and it's very true. Like, I'm really thinking, I wonder if this is a best friend from before he was famous or somebody he met while he was famous.
They said 15 years, so
yeah, he wasn't that big 15 years ago. He was doing comedy stand up.
Well, he's not that big now, to be fair. Boom, that's a small joke.
Oh, bada bing. He's like Aimee sized, right?
Yeah.
I don't What's Aimee sized?
Right? Do you think how tall is Kevin Hart? I'm gonna look it up right now.
Kevin Hart is really short.
I was thinking he was your size, but then I'm like, no, maybe he's not Amy's size. 5'3". My friend is saying from 5'3".
Your friends over there like 5'3". I know that.
Yeah. 5'3".
Wikipedia this morning.
That's that's not Amy's size. Like, well, we are comparing him to a woman. His height, at least.
Yeah, but
he's 5'4" actually. Wow,
ooh,
he's actually not that much shorter than me, so I guess I shouldn't really say shit. he's it's 2 inches shorter than me.
That's I'm 5'7", 3/4".
But he is a lot shorter than my penis.
So, like,
I'm only short when I'm standing up.
So like you were saying how like it must suck to be famous because you can't trust your friends, but imagine being like Tom Cruise famous. Speaking of short people, you can't even know yourself at that point. Like you're so insulated and you're in this like other world. Like imagine how disconnected you even get from your own humanity when you're like, even like the president of the United States or some super famous person. They're like in a different world, you know?
Yeah.
Geographically, psychologically.
Everybody's flipping about this Kanye West thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing, man. Is like I can't be mad at Kanye West. Like it's part of his marketing strategy to be ostentatious and outrageous.
Is it? You think so? I thought that was just his personality. That's just
no. I think it's deliberate. I mean,
I think the more money you get, the more I feel like he's being himself. Like like how Jordan talks about the "fuck you" money, and I was like, if you watch the whole timeline, it's like he was really quiet, like on his first 2 albums, and then after that he started talking more, and then it just got crazier and crazier. And it's like the more "fuck you" money he has, the crazier you can get, right?
Exactly. But it seems like it's like
fuck you, I'm rich.
Yeah, it's like a conscious choice not to restrain himself as he gets more popular.
Yeah, that's how I see it. But you're saying it's more of like a marketing play, you think?
Well, I'm not saying he's like doing it on purpose or saying things disingenuous, but like he made the conscious choice to pull it back, and he realized that if he pulls back his editing of himself, that people actually, like my wife does this, like she'll hate on people like a Trump or a Kanye, and I'm like, you realize you're part of their marketing. You're like the shock troops for them, because they're taking up real estate in your brain and you're talking about them. That's what they want.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, I mean, I'm no fan of Trump, but the levels of hate he gets, I'm like, for example, like CNN. So like something happens with Debbie Wasserman Schultz that CNN will never report on because it's negative for the DNC. And Trump misspells her name, and then all of a sudden CNN's reporting it. It's like, don't you realize he's using you? Like, say what you want about Trump, he's definitely like using the media to his advantage.
Mm-hmm.
It also becomes a thing. Like, remember, like everybody was freaking out because CNN reported something positive about Trump, and everybody's like, "Wow!" And it just goes to show how much that they only chose to like focus on the negative aspects of him. That when they finally does something positive, they have to report it, and everybody freaks out about it. Like, whoa.
Now, what was the positive thing that they said? Was it bombing Syria?
Oh, it's about North Korea and South Korea.
Okay.
The South Korean prime minister said that it was because of Trump that he's having peace talks with North Korea, that he basically set that all up. And they reported that they didn't report that is what actually happened. They reported that that's what the North Korean president said.
Yeah, I thought it was really amazing too how the left media kind of gave him a little bit more credit when he started bombing Syria.
Yeah,
like
some of them did.
Yeah, but I mean, isn't the left supposed to be the anti-war party? And then they hate Trump, who ran on an anti-war platform. He reneges on that, bombs Syria, and they're like, "Yo, we love it." Golf clap.
I guess this depends on the. Well, I can't blame them. It's kind of dependent on the cause, right? They saw something as like, oh, there's children suffering there, and we need to stop them.
True.
I can't really blame them too much on that. But damn it, I keep losing my train of thought. I gotta stop. Too much weed smoke.
There's nowhere to go when we start talking about bombing Syria.
Yeah.
I kind of threw a grenade in the room.
The other guys who are like, oh, it's fake, like fake news, like the whole gas stuff in Syria. Oh, that's a red flag or something.
Yeah, and now I mean this with the most amount of disrespect I could give to the fake podcast and David Penguin, but your average person really should not be talking about global politics and probably not even national politics. Like, you're probably not qualified to even speculate. Like, at most, you should demonstrate a tacit understanding, a minimum. But so often people are like, well, what I think the country should do, what I think is going on in Syria. Like,
the only up I give them is that they're military men, so they do know stuff from the military aspect, but not from like political aspect.
Okay, but so you're a sergeant. Don't pretend like you're fucking Henry Kissinger.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
That's the only reason they really do have a little more knowledge of it, especially about traveling too, because they travel to other countries and they're stationed there for years and they have to deal with the politics going on in those countries. But you're right, they aren't political experts. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't.
Yeah. And I think there's something to be said for once you actually get to those high levels. So, for example, Trump, once you become president, I'm pretty sure they show you some shit and make you aware of some shit that's not available to your everyday person. So you're sitting off on the side criticizing Obama or Trump, like, well, what he should do. It's like, motherfucker, like, he definitely knows some shit you don't know. Like you can't know it.
Yeah, well, I guess that's the president. He's being fed information too that we don't have. So.
Yeah.
He may be Donald Trump and he's an idiot, but I mean, he does have information we don't have.
Plus,
a lot of times, if we're talking about something he's doing in a policy, we might be talking shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you never know to what degree.
We don't know. Yeah.
You never know to what degree. It's inauguration day. He goes into the Oval Office, and all of a sudden, like 20 guys with black suits come in, sit him down, and say, "We're going to murder and torture your wife and family if you don't do everything we say." Like, that's on the table.
Here's a good example. There was that thing. People sometimes don't care about the reasons. They just go for, oh, he's doing this, it's bad. But like, there was that thing with the transgender people in the military, right? And he made that thing, which to me, I think is a dumb solution to an actual problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, the actual problem was that these transgender people were joining the military to try to get the government to pay for their surgeries and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, we probably shouldn't be using government. Yeah, and it's costing the government a lot of money to get these surgeries. So it's like, probably shouldn't be using government money to fund these surgeries, you know? And I understand that, but I don't think the solution is to be like, well, no more transgender in the military. I think it should be more like, okay, we have transgender in the military, but we're not going to pay for your surgery. How about that? You know, that's a way better solution. You know?
I mean, and not only did they say no transgender in the military, they said because is a mental disorder. So it's like an insult on top of a ban.
Yeah, but that a lot of people are flipping out on just him saying, doing the thing and saying that, no more trans in the military, but they weren't listening to the reasons,
Dude, why would anybody think that they're entitled to get their surgery covered?
Yeah,
what is up with that?
I know transgender people feel like that they're turning into themselves and stuff, but regardless of what it is, it's still a cosmetic surgery,
Yeah.
And I don't think we should be paying for cosmetic surgeries unless it's something that happens during a military thing, like if there's a military accident, grenade blows up, you get some shrapnel in your face during a test or something. Yeah, that I understand to get cosmetic surgery from. It was the government's fault that happened.
So what do you think about just the concept of transgenders being a mental disorder? Like, is it too harsh? Is it?
Oh, wait, hold on. Can we just acknowledge this, because I do think there is a discussion to be had about the fact that like it is a mental health issue, right? So what is the stance? What are your guys' thoughts on coverage for transgender surgery? In general,
I don't think it should happen. I think, like I said, I think that's cosmetic, and I don't think cosmetic surgery should be paid by the government.
Even if it's to help their mental state.
But why wouldn't they just get free therapy then? Or at least at least you'll have to have like a mandatory time that you have to get therapy to understand if the person is truly, going through that or just going through a phase. It does happen a lot that transgender people go through the surgery and then regret it a couple years later. You know what I'm saying? But you can't go back. So it's like, that I think it's something to be said that people should be patient with themselves and, truly.
Well, I definitely think there should be an age thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
I need to wait.
I don't think we should fuck with puberty. I don't think we should fuck with all that. They're using like hormone therapy to like, stunt puberty in boys and stuff like that. And I don't think that should happen.
I mean, that's criminal doing that.
Yeah, I think that's child abuse. Children don't know who they are. You know what I'm saying? Like it's people who change a lot, and you're not really who you are till you're like 25, 26. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's like, you should wait it out. And I think it's bad for a parent to not teach their children to wait it out. And
I agree with that.
And I know it's hard. I know it's hard to be a way that nobody else accepts, but that's just life. That's the way you got to deal with that.
Yeah, but we all kind of have that in a way, don't we?
And it's totally better to be safe than sorry, no matter what you're dealing with, right? Like.
And you want to take it to even more disgusting level is you have parents foisting this upon their kids for ideological reasons. And let's face it, kids are going to be whatever their parents want them to be.
Yeah. We're sponges as kids. We absorb information and keep it,
Yeah, so from like 0 to 10, pretty much all life before puberty, you're pretty much like just a sponge, like you said. Yeah. And you have these ideological parents foisting it on these kids. It's beyond criminal.
Yeah. Oh, let's see what Alex says. She's actually a trans person, so it's nice to hear her perspective. I'm trying not to sound biased with this. The only real way to help trans people is to transition. Therapists can be a great help. Yeah, I'm not saying to help them like by giving them therapy to convince them not to. I'm just saying to go through therapy to understand.
But this is a reasonable position. Therapists can be a great help, and surgery should be a last thing anyone ever does.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't read that last part. Yeah, I was jumping into it from the first sentence. Sorry, Alex. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. Yeah, therapy can be a great help. And it helps people also, like, people are confused and people can be impulsive. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, that's kind of the whole aspect of being transgender, right? Is you're confused about yourself and, you feel a certain way. You're not sure if you are. And then, people are telling you this, even though you feel that. And there's a lot of confusion. And if it's happening to you since you're a young child, there's obviously you're going to grow up and have a lot of confused thoughts in your mind. And it's good to work through those first, before you realize what you truly want to do with yourself.
And let's talk about the elephant in the room with this is I think a good amount of these people are just not coming to terms with homosexuality. And even though we think we're in an enlightened era now, there's still a lot of residue and baggage from the anti-homosexuality ethos that's stretched back all throughout history.
Yeah. That is a part of it too, because socially people, there's it's very regional. Like around here, people don't give a shit. But I know that I've lived in areas where people really don't accept it, and people, you see a gay person walking down the street and it's like, oh, look at that fag.
Yeah. I've seen some really amazing cases of like incel types where like I knew this guy that was 25-year-old virgin, and I was like, maybe you should consider that you're gay, and he's like, no, fuck that, that's not the case. I checked back in with him like 2 years later. He's like, oh, I'm gay as fuck.
Yeah.
And no thank you, by the way, no I told you so. Just
like growing up, my parents are both from third world countries, and they grew up in the 50s and 60s. So growing up, I had that mentality as well. My parents always told me like gay people are wrong and this and that. And I had that mentality as well. But it wasn't like when I reached high school and I actually met gay people, became friends with them. I realized I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? And even my parents growing up, being here for so long, eventually that broke down as well. And they didn't give a shit either. You know what I'm saying? It's just exposure helps. You know, they weren't exposed to it as much and they saw it wrong, you know. And like I said, the third world country people, you know, that grew up there and then lived here and realized, you know, saw a variety of lifestyles and stuff and saw that there wasn't anything bad. But in the end, in high school, I had a friend. He was gay. We hung out with him a lot. He was one of my closest friends, and I knew he was gay off the bat, like just by the way he acts and talks. But he denied it for years, and we would always tell him, "Hey, man, you could be gay. None of us cares. It's not like we're gonna stop being your friend because you're gay. Like, we don't give a shit. Nobody cares. Be yourself. Be gay. No, I'm not gay. I was raised by women, so that's why I act, you know, feminine and stuff." And I'm like, "Yeah, right. You're gay." You know. And he would never admit it. It didn't take till we're like in our early 20s till he was finally like, "Oh yeah, I'm gay. This is my boyfriend." You know. It's like, what the fuck? Like, that's what he would even date girls in high school. You know. It was like the girls knew he was gay. They were just he used to show like, you know, see, I'm straight. You know. And it's like, why'd you go through all that? Like, we've been talking, but there's another thing to be said is that he was raised Muslim, so by a Muslim father. So
wild card.
Yeah, so he couldn't be that way at home. But I mean, outside of home, you know, we were telling him like, hey, you don't have to be this way. You can just say who you are. Like, it's fine.
Have you ever seen Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yeah, I love that show. I'm
Mac from that show.
Yeah, Mac. Yeah, they keep telling him, dude, you could be gay. We don't care.
Yeah,
exactly. We're not gonna stop being your friend. It's pretty much the exact situation.
Yeah.
No, bro. I'm not gay. Not gay. I was just raised by my mom.
They're all in the middle of some shenanigans like they always are, and he's like, I'm gonna go to the gay club and investigate. And he comes back, he's all covered in glitter.
Yeah. I love that one. And it's all like a thing of like he's got this macho thing about him, right? Like he thinks he can kick everybody's ass. He always thinks he's strong. Remember there was like that 2 seasons where he was fat, but he was like, no, it's all muscle. It's all muscle.
It's all muscle.
He's always doing this karate shit that he sucks at. And then on top of that, he's super religious, right? He's always like, but in a really dumb way, like, you know.
Yeah.
Non-Bible reading religious, right? Like that's basically what he is. He's like a parody of that type of person.
That show's genius.
Yeah, that show is genius. I'll send you this later. I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a video somebody did analyzing whether what's his name, Dennis is a serial killer or not.
I've seen it. It's great.
You've seen it? Great. Yeah, it's fantastic. I love it. The implication, that's my favorite shit. I love Dennis. He's my favorite character. Like the Dennis system, that's my favorite episode.
Dennis system.
The Dennis system is fantastic.
Have you seen the episode where the gang breaks D?
Yeah.
And then at the very end, the gang breaks Dennis, and he's like, "I'm fine."
I'm fine. Yeah, that's great.
Like vein
Amy, you haven't watched Sunny, right? You haven't watched It's Always Sunny?
No, I haven't. You showed me a clip from it though.
Oh, it's so good.
Where can I find it?
We got to do a thing where, like, once a day we'll watch an episode of like It's Always Sunny. It's only like 20-something minute episodes, so I figure like we could probably find time once a day to go into Reddit and watch an episode.
What is it? Half an hour? An hour? An hour?
No, they're 20-minute. They're 22-minute episodes.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, they're short episodes.
Yeah, we should do that.
It's like a regular TV show, half-hour sitcom.
Okay.
But now there's like 11 seasons, I think. So it'll take a while to go through.
Chris said he has it also. We can.
Oh yeah, there you go. They're all on Netflix too. So I mean, either way, we could stream it off Netflix.
Tomorrow's Sunday, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we still gotta watch a movie too.
Marvel movie.
We have Marvel movies. We have some Italian horrors. I've been showing you trailers for. You guys are down for, and then we have that Turbo Kid movie. Have you seen Turbo Kid? Then?
No.
No, you're gonna watch that with us then.
No, wait, I have seen it. It was good. It was kind of a throwback.
It's kind of like an 80s post-apocalyptic style movie. Like with lots of gore. Yeah, it's great. I was showing Marino the trailer. I know Marino's really into that 80s like style, you know, like art style and shit. And he was like, "Oh, this looks awesome." I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna watch this." It was great.
So
that was like my third review on this channel. I think it is like when I first started this channel. I was doing movie reviews, and that was like my third or fourth review.
Nice. So you know the movie Memento?
Yeah.
It's a pretty good movie, but somebody showed me there's an Indian Bollywood version of it, and it follows the same plot, but there's dance sequences all throughout it, and it's super absurd. So I got that downloaded. I'm going to watch that today. Force that on the wife.
Is the dancing backwards, like because it's Memento?
Yeah.
They do the finishing final dance at the beginning of the movie, and they do the opening dance at the end.
Bollywood is so hilarious to me.
We were talking about this transgender thing, and then we just stopped.
Where else do we go from there?
There's something to say about the science aspect of it. We were talking about biologically, like if it's a mental illness or a biological thing. And there is something to be said about, there's like a research that says like, like I think it's women have a bigger split between their lobes, you know, like the brain stem in the middle of the lobes, that women have a bigger stem than men. And they've noticed that in homosexual men that the stem is bigger than other men, you know what I'm saying? So it could actually be a biological thing, you know?
It is.
I think, yeah, and I think that that's something that can really be researched, and that could be why sometimes men might feel like they're women, you know, because they have a bigger brain stem, and maybe it causes certain chemical reactions or something. But this is the part where I get kind of tossed up with the SJW shit, because I do kind of believe the concept of being a woman, even though we have a social grasp of it and a biological grasp of it, I do actually believe it's kind of like, who gives a shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're a woman and you feel like acting like what men act like or known to be act like, then just do that. I don't give a shit. You know, I don't care.
It's nobody's business. Like
the
argument against homophobia is a lot like the argument against the vegans. Like, why do you care what other people do in the bedroom? It doesn't involve you. It's kind of, and it's like the same. You wouldn't criticize somebody for, oh, you don't like pork? Fuck you, man.
Yeah. See, Alex was saying. Alex is just saying the same thing I was saying. Trans women's brains have been scanned, and it shows our brains are similar to cis women. And I understand that concept, but I'm saying, like, does the physical aspect of it really matters? If you feel like acting like what they say women act like, you know, I mean, there's women that act like dudes. You know, there's women that just act like normal people, like not normal people, but like.
But what we're talking about is like they're just trends. They're just trends and behavior that we observe. If you behave outside of those trends, it's whatever. Who cares?
Fine. Yeah,
right?
it doesn't matter.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, why not just be a dude that's, you know, that acts like a woman and has sex with dudes, or
just do you? Like,
just
do you, boo boo.
That's kind of who you are. Just be you. You don't really need to be physically that way. But I mean, for some people, it does help. But I don't. I guess it comes from the point where, you know, I don't feel those emotions, so I don't understand what it's like. But I feel like, why not just be the person you are? I mean, do you really need the cosmetic change to be who you are? Like, what if I felt like I was a black person? I know it's a joke, but do I really need to, you know, darken my skin up and try to get frizzier hair or something so that I can show that I'm a black person? Like, why can't I just act the way I feel I am? That's it.
Well, it depends on if you want a job at the NAACP or not.
Well, I mean, yeah, Alex kind of answered. He said dysphoria answers your question. Yeah, which goes back to it being the psychological aspect, but
so if somebody has dysphoria, like they think that they're fat, we don't like enable that and help them cut parts of their body off.
We kind of do, right? They do gastro bypass. Oh no, it's the opposite way. You're saying they're real skinny and they think they're fat. Yeah,
exactly. So when people have body dysmorphia, there's actual ways that you're supposed to deal with this. And I'm not sure if pandering to them is the most ideal thing. I don't want to.
No angry face, Alex. We're just discussing. We're trying to figure this out.
I am kind of sensitive to how bad I sound when I'm like, have you tried being gay? And you should cut parts off your body off because you're delusional. I know how bad it sounds, but I am sympathetic.
Yeah, I am too. I mean, I understand that it's difficult. It's definitely difficult to be something that you don't feel like you are, you know. Like,
and I think a big aspect of this is there's a lot of diversity in biology and human biology, obviously, and people have different testosterone levels and estrogen levels. So a man with low testosterone, high estrogen might be more inclined towards feminine behavior for just pure biological reasons.
Yeah, and that's not an issue. Who gives a shit? All right.
So you overlay the social consequences of that, and it really becomes a very confusing, esoteric maze. You know,
that is a problem. That's why I agree with SJWs. Sometimes I agree that SJWs have the right idea, but they have the wrong solutions. You know what I'm saying?
Like vegans.
Yeah, same thing. And it's like, that's how I feel like about that, how they're like, oh, there's all these genders. And I'm like, that's not really the solution to the problem. It's like you're trying to, and I understand because society is fucked up when things are different. You know what I'm saying? It does react in a fucked up way. But is that really the solution to make all these genders? Or is it a better solution to just be like, hey, people, like, you know, they're just people like you and they're going through troubles. And maybe we can, you don't have to accept what they are, but, you know, you don't have to bash them for it either. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, or like how bathrooms became like a proxy war for this bigger issue. You know,
in the end, I really don't give a shit about separate bathrooms anyway. Like, I don't give a shit. There's bathrooms in New York you go into, they're public bathrooms, and they're just like closed off stalls, and men and women go in them. You know what I'm saying? And you just go into whatever stall. And then, you know, it's not the stalls that are like open at the bottom and top. They're just fully closed up from the roof to the ceiling, so that men and women can't look at each other anyway. So. But you can do that. And I'm like, that's okay. We can just have one public bathroom. We don't need to separate them by gender then. How about that?
Yeah, I was just in Portland, and I think of all the public bathrooms I saw, I only saw one that was gendered. All the rest of them were not.
Yeah, I think it works out better because if you're afraid of like, oh, I don't want to be there with my daughter, and then a man comes in, and it's like, well, you know, if that happens, there's a good likeliness that another man might be in there, and they'll help you out. You know, if one guy tries to take your kid or something, then the other guy will probably step in and be like, hey, what the fuck you doing?
I mean, transgenders aside, like I was in a bathroom not too long ago, and just the way it was positioned, the urinal was right by the door, and there was no like side thing, and some guy walked in with this little girl who pretty much was eye level with my dick at the proximity of like 2 or 3
do that with their
feet.
kids. My mom took me into the women's bathroom until I was like 8 or 9.
And that's when you first lost your virginity.
And that's when my mom was like, oh, you can go to the bathroom by yourself now. And then I got raped when I was 5 years old.
In a JC Penney's bathroom.
Yeah, man, who fucking goes on live stream and says these fucking traumatic things about themselves? Fucking insane.
Hey, now I said some weird things about myself on this stream, so let's just settle down.
There's also trans lesbians. It goes beyond just being really gay. Yeah, I hear that, but it also is that too. Like, you know, I understand you feel like the opposite gender, but like I said, I don't get it, because what does it mean to feel like the opposite gender? What does that mean? I don't even understand what that means. Like I said about Jesse Lee Patterson telling.
Tell me, how does a little boy know what it feels like to be
I don't know.
a little girl?
I'm 39. I don't know what it feels like to be a woman. I don't know what it feels like to go through like monthly pains and bleed from your veg and
everybody
overly emotional about certain things and stuff like that. Like, I don't know what that feels like.
Everybody only knows what it's like to be them, to be themselves. That's all you know what it's like.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, this part of it is shitty too. What Alex just said. Fuck non-binary people making it some kind of trend. That's shitty too, and that fucks up the cause as well. You know, that fucks up people, not the cause, but like that fucks up society looking at you in a normal light more than they do now. You know what I'm saying? Like now you have these people like trending it. Now it's gonna be like whenever you see a transgender person, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, it's just a phase or something. Oh, they're just doing it for attention.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, this is a truly fucking thing that happens. You know, like we need to look into it and help people. It
seems to me like they're insecure with how they are and how they feel, so they demand security be broadcasted by the world at large to them. I demand you make me feel secure right now.
Yeah. This is the part. All right. So Alex said something that made me think of something else. So he says, how does a little boy know what a little boy thinks like? Well, because you're a little boy, you think those things. But how do you know yourself that you're feeling like a girl, or you're just feeling different from what other boys feels like? Like, how do you know the difference between it, that you're specifically feeling like a girl, or if you're just feeling different? You know what I'm saying?
And let's face it, when you're a child, you don't know fucking anything.
Yeah, I didn't know. I never even thought of what girls feel like when I was a kid. Like, I wanted to know what they felt like with my hands, like, but not like what they internally thought or how they felt physically. I wouldn't know. I mean, I don't know women. I can know what women feel like physically from them explaining it to me, but I don't know the actual feeling.
Yeah, I want to know what they taste like genitally, but I don't know what they feel like.
I mean, in general, women think different, you know, when we're talking about generic things, you know, women think differently. Women have different interests, you know, and you could be a guy that has those interests that girls have, but that doesn't necessarily mean you feel like a girl. I've been into like girl cartoons and watched those, you know, like, stuff like that, girl comics, and read those. And Ghost World was a big one. I enjoyed that comic.
So let me ask you this, Alf. Have you ever been hit on by a homosexual man?
No. Yes, multiple times since I was like 13 years old.
No, until you were 13.
Yeah. My first, the first live show I played was in Hoboken. I think I about this on my stream actually with you. And some gay guy came out, and he was, you know, drinking age. I was 13, and he came out in a mesh shirt and kept and mascara on. And he was asking me to go inside and buy me a drink. I'm like, oh, I'm underage. He's like, oh, don't worry about it. I know the bartender and shit. I was like, no, thanks. My brother came up all pissed off, like saying next to me, all, you know, pigeon chesting and acting all big, like I'm gonna knock you out if you keep talking to my little brother. And he looked at him and he was like, oh, all right, well, you're great on guitar, man. I'll talk to you later. Inside, he scurried back in. But
never as an adult.
No, yeah, multiple times. I was working at Barnes & Noble's cafe. I think I was in my late 20s, and some guy said, "Oh, you have a big nose. Is it true what they say about guys with big noses?" And he was all like smiling, and I was like, "Well, I'm not gonna tell you that," but you know, he was happy because I was like, "Oh, thank you for the compliment," because I was nice about it. You know, I was like, "Oh, thanks for the compliment, but I'm not gay." And he was like, "Oh, for a straight guy, you're really nice." You know, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm not homophobic. I'm not gonna punch you out for."
So that's where I was going with this. Like, are you flattered or are you like disgusted?
Oh yeah, it's flattering. No, it's flattering.
A little bit of both.
I mean, if gay dudes like me, that shows me that girls like me too, right? There's something attractive about me. But
I feel like I got a little window into the world of what it's like to be a girl when you get hit on at a gay club or something. Yeah.
I mean, girls do that to me as well. They're very aggressive with me, and I have to push them back and be like, "Yo, chill."
That's why you learn to play guitar.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Alex said, me sneaking into my sister's clothes and putting on makeup as a 7-year-old and playing with Barbies, throw a few cute. That's not. See, this is the aspect where I try to separate it, and I don't think that's what I'm talking about because. I mean, I played with Barbies. There was a girl upstairs that had Barbies, and I go up there and play with her Barbies, But just putting on a dress and putting on makeup and playing with girls' toys, you could be a dude and do that.
That's just fun.
There literally are cross-dressers who are not gay. You know what I'm saying? They just like wearing dresses and stuff. That's where I separate that aspect. And I want to know, how do you know that you feel like you are a woman, or how do you know that you just feel that you just like women's stuff and acting like a woman or behaving like a woman? You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between behaving and actually feeling like, and that's the part where I say, like, I would like to really get down to, how do you know this? Like, what's the feeling you get, or do you just enjoy putting on these things? Like cross-dressers, right? They literally they get some pleasure out of putting on women's clothes and putting on makeup or walking around in heels. But they don't feel like women. They don't want to be women. They just want to dress in those things.
I'm wearing pumps right now.
I'm wearing pumps right now. I'm wearing stilettos.
Stilettos. They're red.
Fuck me, pumps. But yeah,
I love stilettos.
Right? There's guys who get off on wearing women's underwear, and they're not, but they still like women, They just get off on wearing the underwear.
Yo, I've done that on accident. It was very gratifying.
And that's where you have to. Damn. That's where I say the therapy is very important, because I think it's very important to take each transgender person and really go down into their mentality and understand like what's going on, how they truly feel. Will transitioning and having the surgery really help them, or will it be something they will regret in the future? Sissy, that's the word you're looking for. I say some people call that sissy. I don't really give a shit. I mean, I call people sissy like fucking around, but I don't give a shit. If you're a sissy, you're a sissy. Whatever.
And anybody can benefit from therapy. So I don't want people to take it as a slight, like, oh, you think I need to go see a therapist? Fuck you. No, it's like everybody can benefit from that.
Yeah, definitely. I'm in the full concept that there's people who seriously need therapy, like Sarah Hatcher's one. I think she really needs therapy to get all her trauma out and have somebody explain to her things, and go into her mentality, because she has a lot of trauma, and that's part of what's making her act this way. I'm saying, and being emotionally unstable. She needs to work through that trauma.
Can you even imagine her trying to be a doctor with that emotional instability she has? It's not going to happen.
It can't happen. She needs.
I mean, let's say she makes it through. Could you imagine her being?
Even after all this, I don't hate the girl. I think she's nutty, and I think that she needs help. And I would love to see her get some help and change around and become a different person, a more stable person. But she's had trauma in her life. She can't handle it. And the worst thing for her to do is go around strangers and try to be their friends, because it's not going to work out. It's just going to make it worse for her. What she needs to do is, work through her issues. So
listen, do what you want, but don't do it around me.
Exactly. And sometimes you need that tough love too. Like that's what I was saying about the Tim V thing. Like he's feeding her positive reactions to her negative behavior. That's not good. That's not her. She'll never realize what she's doing is wrong if you keep telling her, "Oh no, you're beautiful. You're doing the right thing."
But she thinks the negative response. The problem with people like this is they think the negative response toward them is wrong, even though they keep getting the same response from people over and over again.
Yeah, you have to realize that you're getting that response for a reason, and it might be you.
Yeah, it's amazing how it'll reinforce bad behavior. They're like, "Oh, you're just reacting poorly to me because you're a problematic person," and it's like, like Christians do this. Like if you come at a Christian, that they almost see your argumentation as a reinforcement of their position.
Yeah, and in the end, all the issues she has with Aimee are not Amy's problem. You know what I'm saying? That's your problem with her. Keep it to yourself. You can tell her if you want, but you don't expect a positive reaction from people.
Exactly.
Because most people in this circle don't agree with you. They don't think that that's negative behavior, what Amy's doing.
Now, you guys reduce it down to, well, she just doesn't like you, but I think we can go further. I think she's jealous. I think that's
I think that's
lowest common denominator.
I've said that before. I was saying it was envy, like 100%. Aimee gets all this positive attention. Everybody treats her nice, and people don't ignore her. When she comes in, she commands attention. She doesn't demand attention, but she comes in and she gets the attention. Say people like her. People want to talk to her. Yes, sure. Sometimes she gets that attention of just sexual attention from people, but she knows how to separate those people and know which ones are giving her just sexual attention and people who are really interested in getting to know her and be her friend.
Yeah. I mean, that's how our species got here, is by guys being fuck machines and totally maniacs.
Yeah, and Aimee does what I said. You have to be selective about your friends. You meet them, you talk to them. Sometimes people seem cool at first. You make friends with them for a while, and then you realize this is not the kind of person I like, and you split yourself.
It takes time.
Yeah, it takes time. You have to.
If you actually want to make friends with somebody, it does take time.
That was something that MV said yesterday that really bothered me at the end of the stream.
I want to be friends with everybody.
Yeah, and at the end of that stream and in your stream, he said that, oh, I wish we should be friends. Everybody should be friends. We should all get along. And it's like, no, you shouldn't be friends with everybody. You should be very selective about your friends, because there's not only is there people you're not going to get along with, but there's terrible people out there. There's
Hell yeah.
out there that'll stab you in the back. They'll fucking take your shit, take advantage of you.
I think like 99% of people are total douchebags. That is my assessment.
That's why I live in a place that's fucking extremely fucking densely packed.
Dude, all my greatest friends are over 1,000 miles away from me.
I go through people like fucking socks, you know what I'm saying? Like I just whoop, in and out constantly. I meet people almost every day basically, and everybody's in and out. But it's like, the few friends I do have are friends that I've had for a very long time, like I've selected them, and a lot of them I went to high school with. Even I've been out of high school for over 20 years.
Yeah. The ideal situation is that your friends should all be better than you. You should be the worst person in your friend group and aspire to be bring yourself up to your friend's level,
or at least equal, right? Like equal or better.
Yeah, at very least. But I like to surround myself and make myself uncomfortable with people that are obviously more successful and better and smarter than me.
I'm a very neutral person. When I meet people, I have a neutral aspect of everyone. So I feed off of what you're telling me. So the way you act around me, the things you tell me, I take those all into account. You know what I'm saying? And I'll stack those up in my mind the more I get to know you, till I realize, well, there's way more negative aspects to this person than positive. Out the window. I'll give people a chance. There are bad first impressions, So, I mean, even if I have a negative thought on someone, I will give them a second chance and see if I get to know them, like them better. I've talked about Tristan before, right? How I didn't like Tristan for a long time. And it's not like I didn't like him because, he's not even that he's an asshole or anything. I just didn't think our personalities mixed. You know what I'm saying? I was like, this guy, I don't know. There's something about him that just bothers me. And I can't really enjoy myself talking to him or being around him. That's changed. And I don't think it's me that's changed. I think it's Tristan that's changed. But that's the thing. You got to give people a chance, because people will change. I mean, I feel like Tristan was way more socially awkward when we first met him. And now he's funny. He's cool. He comes in, talks to you, nice person, he doesn't try to badger you with shit. If you tell him you're not interested in something, he backs off. And that's what I'm saying. People change, and he has changed over time. I feel like he's grown as a person since we met him, and like socially, for sure.
Yeah. I just need people to take my verbal abuse, and he doesn't take any of my verbal abuse.
No, yeah, I know you and Dan. I know Dan and Tristan have had their issues. But
no,
honestly, Tristan's a nice guy. He's gotten better. I think you guys just argue over the semantic bullshit of fucking your argument, and that's if you want to get to be cool with Tristan and him with you, you guys need to drop that for a bit and just like talk like normal people. That's kind of the whole vegan thing we talk about, right? Like you got to talk to people like normal people first, get to know them, then people will open up their views to you. I don't play the whole, I don't know you, respond to my arguments. No, no, too bad. I don't know you my time. You don't have the privilege of talking to me, getting to know who I am. So.
Yeah, I love it when I tell people I don't respect them, as if respect is a default position. They get so fucking triggered. It's why would you? Respect is not default. You got to earn it.
That goes around a lot now, and you always especially with the fat acceptance movement. There's like, you have to respect us. And no, I don't have to respect anyone. You have to earn my respect.
Exactly.
And guess what? Once you've earned my respect, I'll still make fun of you for being fat, but it'll be in a joking way. And if you don't accept that, then you don't accept my my personality, and you don't respect me. So.
It's amazing how people they don't understand the underlying positive sentiment when you're telling somebody that they should be healthy.
Oh yeah.
Or
like these posters of skinny chicks, and it's like for a weight loss program, and they get mad about that. And it's like, well, that's their business. That's the business they're doing. They're trying to get people to get on a diet so they can look nice. It's a true thing. People like to look nice. It's like saying, stop putting pretty women in makeup ads. Like, what? That's the point of makeup, to make yourself prettier. Why wouldn't they put pretty women on there? Doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. People are weird. They obviously want to show off the best of the best, right? It also gives off the impression that the makeup will make you look like that, or whatever product it is will make you feel like that.
Because they like to market towards our instinctual desires and stuff like that. But if it works, it works. I mean, the business is the business. They want to sell stuff. If it works on you, it works on you. It doesn't work on everyone, right? I don't watch commercials about burgers and want to go get burgers. Like, it just doesn't work on me.
You know, it's funny, as I get older, I notice advertising works on me more and more.
Really? Yeah, I'm opposite. The older I get, the less it works on me. Like, I remember being a kid and seeing all these cool fucking skateboard kids playing with, like, whatever toy was fucking around at that time, like fucking Legos. Like, whoa, this Lego can fucking fly. Whoa, cool.
Right.
Like throwing shit at each other, being super cool with spiky hair like Dan had back then.
Yeah. I think it was like I was ideological against advertising, and I was like too punk rock for it. And as I got older, I was just like, I don't care, because it's like it's not even advertising. It's like if someone's eating an ice cream sandwich in a movie, I'm like, I want an ice cream sandwich, and I'm not gonna like revolt against that.
I'm not a very cravey person. I crave things rarely, so I don't really like, showing me something doesn't make me crave it. I mean, if I smell it, that's a different thing though. Smell it, it'll crave. Yeah, if you bring a burger around, and I smell it, I'm gonna be like, oh, I want a burger. But I guess I'm not visually sold by things so easily. It's a lot more, except when it comes to women, of course. But
sold.
That's a whole Latin aspect. That's a Latino aspect I can't get rid of. Right? I have a machismo.
You know, it's funny how sex does sell. I'm just waiting for that. I think Bill Hicks had a bit about this. Like, I'm waiting for that one commercial that's just overtly sexual. Yeah, just like you pan out and it's just a naked woman with a Coke can right between her legs.
Yeah, covering. She's totally naked, but she's covering her vagina with a Coke can.
Yeah.
Come drink it up.
Let's just be honest about what's happening here,
Yeah, and it's true. I mean, sex sells. Of course it does. People like sex. I always find it weird that people are like sexually repressed and stuff like that. It's like you realize you like sex.
Speaking of which, everybody pop over to Aimee and Chill and subscribe, like.
Thanks. I'm like, what are you guys talking about?
She has a GoFundMe. Search for the GoFundMe, Aimee and Chill, and donate even $1. Anything helps.
Yeah, dude, anything. Or if you don't want to donate, just go to the channel and sub.
Also, yeah, even if you don't have the money to donate at all, there's even like you can help support, sub, share her GoFundMe around,
Because remember, sex does sell. But
give me 1 second.
What just happened? I'm so confused.
Oh, I got a phone call. 1 second.
Oh, okay.
Ring ring.
And I
muted myself.
Did you see my Chewbacca picture today?
Yes.
Isn't it the best?
I did.
I never pictured Chewbacca with tits before, and now I know what it's like, and I don't know why that's useful, but hey.
So just to be clear, Amy's spamming this picture of a Chewbacca's head on her body, and I'm looking at it going, all right, Chewbacca head, girl body, why am I looking at this? Hey, I recognize that cleavage. I've seen that cleavage before. Hey, I understand what's happening now.
I'm gonna go post that on Twitter right now, and then I'm gonna delete it.
And then you're gonna delete it?
No, I'm gonna delete it from my phone because I don't need it.
I was gonna say.
I owe my drug dealers like $400 right now, but I plan on eventually throwing down on Aimee and Chill. Damn.
I
don't like to owe people money, so I never get into that. Like, even if I don't have the money for drugs, I just don't buy it. Like, I hate owing people money. Or at the most I'll ever owe people money is like a day, because by the next day, like, it'll have to be like, oh, I get paid tomorrow, and I'll hit you up tomorrow. That's like the most I'll do. But I really don't like owing people money.
Yeah, that's a bad position.
I don't like it either.
Especially drug dealers. Like, owe your in-laws money or your fucking siblings, but drug dealers.
But like, it's easy because sometimes you're friends with them. Like, I have a lot of friends with that, so it's like it's easy because you have friends to do it, and your friends will lend you money and stuff like that. So they'll be like, yeah, don't worry about it. But it's still something that, like, you have to understand that that's their income and they're holding back. Like, the way it works is they buy it, sell it, and then with that money you paid back for the next one. So the longer you take, the less money they're gonna have to buy back for the next one. And then you got to think how many people do that to them, and oh shit, this person owes them this much, this person owes them that much, and you're just draining them in the end. But the average drug dealer, I wouldn't give a shit. But but if you don't know the drug dealer, then they could be a dangerous person.
in general, drug dealers are going to be problematic people. This guy that sold me weed one time, he pretended that he had bone cancer to get like a bunch of money from all his friends and to get a lot of sympathy. And it fucking just fucked over everybody. It's fucking amazing.
Fuck that motherfucker.
Yeah, hashtag not all.
About the Dusty Smith thing, and I'm like, dude, I can't believe you just blew up some drug dealer and called him out on a fucking video, showed his name and address and all this shit.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it might not even be him, but that dude deals with people too that said they give him the stuff to deal, and those people might be like, oh, you're exposing one of my dealers, you know, like they come fuck you up, dude. You live in the fucking Alabama, like that's some serious shit. You don't want to be fucking around. You might think you know this dude because he was like, oh, I went to high school with this guy. You know, we've been Facebook friends for a while. So this and that. And I'm like, you might think you know the dude, but you don't know who the dude knows, you know, and what's going on there. Or if there's people around him telling him like, oh, you let him punk you like that. You know, here's a gun. You got to go kill that. But, you know, you never know what's going on, man.
Yeah.
Be careful. I would be careful with that.
This goofy motherfucker, has this goofy motherfucker ever watched Breaking Bad? I mean, come on.
Yeah. I mean, he grew up in a ghetto. He should know these things. Like these are things you know. Like when you grow up around here, like
that guy's a piping hot mess.
You know, yeah, he is a mess. I think he thinks he's cooler than he is. You know, and that's how I feel.
It amazes me how few just sane, normal people tend to make it towards internet YouTube celebrity. It seems like the whole menagerie of them are just a cornucopia of problematic mental disorders and personality flaws.
It's strange because when you go through life, you meet like one or two people like this, you know, every once in a while. I mean, I live in a very densely populated area, so I probably met more than the average person. But you do meet some in your life, but when you go online, you realize how many of them there are out there. It's like because the whole scope of meeting people is just broadened by globally, really.
And let's face it, there's a selection bias where the people who do have personality disorders tend to congregate online and then clump together like king rats.
Yeah, you know? Of course. You like people tend to group up.
I'm guessing you don't have that cash for me, though.
I kind of like that about us too. Like we're kind of like each other in personality wise, but we all come from different places. We have different like hobbies and thoughts on things and stuff. I always get the whole thing with Devin where I like respond to somebody in one of his about him and they'll be like, you know, you don't know this guy, you don't know this and that, and I'm like, yeah, I talk to him every day, and you know the whole blocking thing, and they're like, oh yeah, wait till you disagree with him once, he's gonna block you like he did everyone else and get rid of you. And then like I disagree with him all the time. It happens often. And then Devin brought that up this morning. He was like, it's so weird because you know vegans they all believe the same thing, but like you know you talk to me and then take Alf for example, we believe different things and we have different views on the whole veganism thing. You know, it doesn't cause us to like hate each other or argue or anything.
Yeah, and I think this circles back to the whole vegan thing that we started on here was, I think to me, the sign of true love and respect and compassion is that you can disagree with somebody and it remains amicable. Like, for example, me and my wife will disagree all the time and we keep it fun and light, you know? And that's how I know that we got a functional relationship. You know?
This is the thing about discussing things with people. Me and Chris were discussing time travel, right? or teleportation.
Nerd!
Yeah, it was teleportation. I'm saying we never know throughout time if it's possible, you know, and Chris is saying, no, with physics, it's impossible. And I'm like, we say that, but you never know. With enough time, we might discover something that will, you know, lend itself to that technology. And we just don't know, you know, and then you got Rogue who comes in. No, that's impossible. That's so stupid. It's impossible. You know, it's like, chill. Yeah, like, you know, Chris had to tell her to shut up. Chris was like, Rogue, shut up, let Alf talk. You know, it's like, you know, even at some point, Chris was like, I see your point and I understand that. And yeah, I guess it is kind of possible, but I'm still on the point where I think it's impossible. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I see what you're saying. Maybe there is, or maybe something that a technology we come up with that is not what we consider teleportation, but in practicality is, you know, you never know. That was just my point. I think it's highly improbable, but that was just my point that in thousands of years, who knows what we can do, you know? There's no way. There's things that happen now that 10 years ago we thought was impossible, right?
Yeah.
Even 10 years in such short time. Like, whoa, we could do this. I didn't know that. I didn't think it would ever be possible to use one cell and grow an entire organ out of it by itself. Not even us making it grow, just putting it in the same conditions and it just grows and multiplies on its own. Like, I didn't think that was possible. And then I saw that 10 years ago and I was like, whoa, like that's some crazy shit.
And technology Technology is
Aimee, you gonna
amazing.
get going?
Yeah, because I want to rollerblade for a bit before it gets dark.
No problem. Yeah, we should probably end this. We've been going on for a bit.
Sorry, Dan, finish your
Dan.
point.
Yeah, finish your point, and then we'll go from there.
No, I was going to ask a question that was going to open up another long conversation, so we'll shelf that.
Okay.
I was just
Sounds
grinding
good to
on
me
this.
because Dan can go on for fucking ever.
Oh, fucking hell.
But
And,
I like it. I like it.
Oh, in a good
Yeah,
way.
I like listening to you talk. Dan. You do stuff that I enjoy.
Oh, you guys are too nice.
Thank you both for coming on.
Love you.
Thank everybody watching, and thank you guys in the chat. Thank you, Alex, for giving us your perspective and stuff, and helping us out, and understanding and stuff. I like that.
Even though you annoyed me before, I'm glad you came back.
Yeah. Alex, when Alex is cool, Alex is cool. But there's times where Alex gets a little emotional.
Annoying.
Yeah,
Shots fired.
and I think she knows that. She gets a bit. I think Alex, it would help out if you. When you do get emotional, that you recognize it and apologize and say, "Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just flipping out," which you do sometimes. You've done that to me before, but I think you're cool, man. Sorry, I think you're cool, Alex. And yeah, that's gonna happen. I got to get used to that.
Well, you weren't really referring to her as a man. It was just, I think you're cool.
I've called you man in that sense too. But Alex, I would like to one time, maybe a few of us can get together and have a stream and talk about it and talk about transgenderism and our views on it, and maybe we can understand each other better. But when it seems like Alex seemed to confirm half the things I was saying, at least. So yeah, thank you everybody for watching. Love you guys.
1, 2, 3. Bye.